ada 10 pemain kan, hanya satu pemain yang bertahan itu bahwa kemudian Konsa ketika menghadapi Haaland di Premier League itu menjadi catatan menarik karena dalam 5 pertandingan Haaland hanya bisa mencetak 1 gol dari 10 tembakan. Jadi bisa jadi dia memberikan pengalaman yang baik nanti bagi Haaland.
Betul, dan itu di lini belakang dan kita akan menuju lini tengah. Ini yang sangat menarik ketika ada Odegaard dan juga Bellingham. Ini pemain yang betul-betul harus kreatif di pertandingan ini. Ini yang paling penting bagi mereka berdua.
Dua pemain yang sangat krusial ya buat kedua tim untuk soal kreativitas. Karena Odegaard tadi sudah kita bahas, dia adalah sumber utama umpan-umpan yang enak buat Haaland di kotak penalti. Sedangkan Bellingham kita lihat semakin matang penampilannya, dia sudah mencetak 4 gol. Ini sudah mengukir rekor sebagai gelandang timnas Inggris yang mencetak paling banyak gol dalam satu edisi turnamen ya.
Iya, dan itu pun juga yang kita lihat dari Odegaard dan juga Bellingham. Di lini depan memang mereka tidak bertemu lagi di Liga ya, tapi kita tahu bagaimana Haaland bisa dikatakan mengacak-acak Liga Inggris dengan gol-golnya, sementara Harry Kane juga kita tahu goal getter yang sangat handal di Liga Inggris.
Ya, tadi kita sudah sebut ya 2018 dia cetak 18 gol jadi top scorer. Sekarang pertandingan masih ada, sudah cetak 6 gol. Meskipun orang mengatakan ini adalah panggungnya Haaland, tapi Harry Kane adalah Harry Kane, monster yang
golnya juga luar biasa kemarin ya.
Jangan diberikan momentum. Hanya mungkin Harry Kane akan banyak terlibat dalam permainan dibandingkan Erling Haaland. Mungkin Haaland akan bermain lebih santai, hanya berjalan tiba-tiba bola dari kiri atau dari kanan tiba-tiba sudah siap untuk disantap.
Iya, jangan lupa juga kemampuan untuk berlari Haaland ini yang begitu luar biasa dengan kemampuan fisik dan juga bagaimana disiplinnya dia. Stel Solbakken dan juga Thomas Tuchel. Solbakken kita tahu pernah juga membesut Wimbledon saat itu, sementara Tuchel sendiri ini adalah digadang-gadang sebagai pelatih yang jenius.
Iya, kalau kita lihat mungkin Thomas Tuchel sorotannya apakah dia bisa mengukir rekor menjadi pelatih asing pertama yang membawa sebuah tim menjadi juara ya.
Wow, iya betul.
Karena belum pernah ada juara yang memakai pelatih asing. Dan ini Tuchel melihat performa Inggris sekarang, mungkin dia punya kesempatan bagus untuk mengukir rekor tersebut ya.
Iya, pemain kunci ini yang paling penting, tapi saya rasa juga sosoknya tidak akan asing lagi karena kita tahu pencetak gol akan menjadi pembeda di pertandingan yang akan berlangsung. Kita lihat pemain kunci dari masing-masing tim dan tentunya juga bagi Erling Haaland. Lihat bagaimana 7 gol, belum ada assist, 30 tembakan, 27 sentuhan dan duelnya 18 kali menang, dan inilah yang menjadi keunggulan bagi Haaland, body charge yang menjadi andalan dia.
Siapa yang bisa menggantikan Haaland kan judulnya adalah back Inggris versus Haaland di pertandingan kali ini, dan yang dipilih adalah John Stones dan Guehi untuk di center back, dan duel ini akan menarik menunggu karena Haaland belum tentu sering akan masuk kotak penalti.
Iya, pencetak gol dengan gaya spektakuler ya. Harry Kane ini selalu tanpa diduga posisi seperti kemarin dia bisa mencetak gol dengan sangat baik sekali. Tapi kuncinya adalah bagaimana dia tenang di pertandingan ini.
Betul, semakin matang ya Harry Kane sejak dia pindah ke Bayern Munchen, semakin konsisten mencetak gol, dan ini adalah penampilan ke-120 dia di timnas Inggris yang artinya menyamai rekor Wayne Rooney dan hanya tertinggal dari Peter Shilton.
Betul, dan Peter Shilton.
Itu kiper legendaris.
Luar biasa. Ini kita orang-orang lama sih ya. Jadi kalau
bukan belajar dari sejarah, belajar dari
sejarah. Peter Shilton, dan ya tadi sudah terlihat ya pemain kunci, pemain yang paling penting di sana. Tapi tentunya juga tadi saya sudah bertanya kepada Bung Wes seperti apa akan Inggris bermain atau mungkin juga bagi Norway bermain. Tapi saya rasa juga Norway harus tetap berhati-hati. Inggris adalah Inggris. Ini tim yang bisa meraih dengan bisa dikatakan permainan yang sangat menarik ke semifinal dengan cepat, dan sosok lain selain Harry Kane, siapa yang harus diwaspadai di Inggris?
Saya masih lihat Bellingham menjadi sebuah kunci kalau memang dia bisa benar-benar main dari second line.
Second line. Itu yang paling penting, second line ya, sekali lagi. Itu pun yang akan kita lihat. Odegaard juga akan bisa lihat di sana bagaimana permainan yang akan diusung. Tapi tentunya juga mudah-mudahan kita akan sesuai jadwal pertandingan yang akan berlangsung, karena saat lagi kita akan segera menyaksikan quarter final di mana Norwegia menghadapi Inggris. Selamat menyaksikan.
Banyak alasan buat melampaui batasan bareng Valorant. Buat si Abe yang cuma punya satu teman komplek ini, di Valorant dia punya ratusan.
Ya, dan kita sudah melihat Miami Stadium, tadi ada Beckham, ada pendukung Inggris, pendukung Norwegia. Ini stadion
Helm dan hijab,
berkapasitas 64.000 bagi sepak bola. Dan ini adalah stadion yang biasa dipakai football, pernah menjadi rekor besar 80.000 penonton saat 2013, saat itu di baseball, dan sempat menjadi tuan rumah untuk World Series game ke biasa di Miami Dolphins ada di sana, Florida Marlins, semua ada di sana, dan semua yang datang nih kayak teman-teman kita nih ya, Bung Wei dan juga Bung Wes ketika ke Amerika melihat stadion ini, stadion apa mall kan? Karena memang di sana pun menjadi sebuah hal yang experience baru lah bagi para penonton yang hadir. Ya mudah-mudahan orang Indonesia juga hadir di sana membawa kenangan yang besar ya Bung Wei ya.
Kalau Meksiko sih biasa aja stadion.
Biasa aja.
Kalah jauh dari Amerika.
Beda
Tapi benar.
kultur,
Beda kultur ya.
Tapi ini kan stadion lebih terkenal untuk NFL.
Iya, NFL.
Ya, meskipun sepak bola pernah Copa America pernah di sini,
Iya.
Piala Dunia klub di 2005 pernah di sini, dan Piala Dunia 26 ini ada 7 pertandingan yang dijadikan markas Miami Stadium.
Iya, dan untuk NFL biasanya stadionnya besar-besar ya, karena memang kita tahu juga begitu luar biasa yang mereka lakukan. Ya, kekalahan Inggris terakhir di Norwegia tercatat pada 2 Juni 93. Norwegia menang atas Inggris dalam laga kualifikasi Pildun 94 dengan skor 2-0. Saat itu di Ølefell Stadium, Norwegia menang atas Inggris berkat gol dari ꞉𝗏 Larsen dan juga Lars Bohinen. Tadi sudah dibahas di sana, dan kita lihat skuad Norwegia dan Inggris ini, Bung Wes, ini biasa membaca raut wajah pemain yang masuk ya. Ini tegangnya beda soalnya. Apalagi Norwegia tadi yang tadinya bermain tanpa beban, sekarang bebannya tinggi karena mereka tinggal 2 langkah lagi nih untuk bisa mencapai partai final, dan ini harus menghadapi tim kuat Inggris.
Bisa kita lihat sebaliknya, bahkan semua akan melihat Inggris yang digadang-gadangkan menjadi salah satu wakil yang terbaik ketika menghadapi Norwegia, dengan penampilan Norwegia yang begitu menyita, memukau, bisa jadi beban bagi Inggris, bahwa pemain-pemain Norwegia kan ada 10 ya main di Liga Inggris, jadi mereka juga paham ya. Lihat lebih santai, lebih nyaman, bisa jadi, tapi tetap kita harus melihat Inggris adalah Inggris yang berbeda di era kolektif.
Ya, lihat bagaimana Haaland pasti 100% mengenal semua pemain yang ada di sini, tapi bagi pelatih ini belum mengenal 100% karena 𝗏𝗏, Tuchel belum pernah bertemu, dan tentunya juga 𝗏𝗏 belum pernah menghadapi Inggris, Tuchel belum pernah menghadapi Norwegia.
Ya, pastinya perang taktik yang akan menarik ya. Kedua pelatih sudah membuktikan kegemilangan mereka dalam meramu strategi. Kita lihat 𝗏𝗏 perubahan formasi yang dia lakukan di babak kedua lawan Brasil.
Dari Inggris ya, tentunya rekan-rekan
Tuchel juga apalagi
dari Erling Haaland, ada O'Reilly, ada Jones, dan juga ada Mark Gini. Apakah ini mungkin akan menjadi keuntungan bagi bek Inggris yang telah mengetahui kelebihan dan juga kekurangan dari Erling Haaland sendiri, Bung Erwin?
Kalau sudah di level seperti ini, saya pikir ada keuntungan dan kelebihan juga ya. tiga orang pemain City di lini belakang dari Inggris tentu sudah hafal dari gaya dari Erling Haaland. Ini bapak dari Erling Haaland ya.
Iya,
Haaland. Ya, jadi kalau kembali apakah sudah menguntungkan atau tidak, Erling Haaland pun juga sudah tahu kelemahan dari para pemain belakang dari Inggris yang menjadi rekan setimnya di Manchester City. Jadi ini merupakan duel yang tidak boleh ada satupun kesalahan, karena waktu menghadapi Brazil, Erling Haaland mencetak 2 gol itu merupakan sebuah kesalahan dari pemain-pemain belakang dari Brazil yang tidak dilakukan banyak sebetulnya di pertandingan itu. Tapi Erling Haaland bisa mencetak 2 gol.
Iya, pemirsa, sampai kita melihat ya para kedua dari pemain dari negara sedang memasuki lapangan dari pertandingan hari ini. Dan juga kalau kita sedikit melihat ya dari starting lineup yang telah diturunkan, tentunya ada sedikit perubahan dari Inggris, di mana ada 2 perubahan dari lini depan, satunya yaitu 𝗂𝗏𝗃 Saka yang nanti akan digantikan oleh 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝐷𝐴𝐾, dan juga dari lini belakang tentunya ada nama ᴠʟᴏ yang mendapatkan kartu merah akan digantikan oleh John Stones.
Iya, ini menarik ya, kita lihat di mana pertukaran pemain ini memang sangat dibutuhkan. Ini juga kembali kepada masalah strategi ya. 𝗂𝗏𝗃 Saka pada saat melawan Meksiko cukup bagus sebenarnya.
Iya.
Tapi dengan kepentingan strategi akhirnya Madueke yang dimainkan. Sementara ada pergeseran. 𝗄𝗄𝗃 mungkin akan digeser ke kanan untuk mengganti posisi dari ᴠʟᴏ yang mendapatkan kartu merah. Sementara Stones nampaknya akan berduet bersama dengan 𝐾𝐃, seperti yang tadi dikatakan oleh Jasmine bahwa 3 defender ini semua dari City.
Iya.
Ya, mungkin 11-12 juga dikatakan oleh Bung Erwin tadi ya. Mungkin mereka sudah mengetahui bagaimana kemampuan dari Haaland, tapi juga Haaland juga pasti mengetahui bagaimana kekurangan dari 3 pemain ini ketika mereka sama-sama di City.
Iya, betul sekali. Dan juga pemirsa, sesaat lagi kita akan mendengarkan bagaimana national anthem atau lagu kebangsaan dari kedua negara, dari Inggris dan juga dari Norwegia. Para kedua pemain dari negara ini sudah mulai berkumpul, dan artinya sebentar lagi kita akan mendengarkan lagu kebangsaan dari Norwegia dan juga Inggris.
Please rise if you are able for the playing of the national anthem of Norway. Please remain standing if you are able for the playing of the national anthem of England.
Welcome tahun 40 ya, kita low dulu dan kena hak cipta pula. National anthem dari kedua negara sudah dikumandangkan dari Norwegia dan juga dari Britania Raya, England, Inggris, apapun namanya. Di babak perempat final ini, dan siapapun yang akan lolos akan berhadapan dengan pemenang antara Argentina versus Swiss kira-kira 4 jam lagi dari sekarang, kalau tidak ada perubahan. Kalau cuaca baik, cuaca mendukung, beberapa pertandingan sempat ditunda karena faktor cuaca.
Terasa dan semakin siap untuk laga hidup dan mati ini. Dan tentunya pemirsa, sambil kita menunggu line up resmi yang akan diturunkan oleh kedua pelatih dari 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏 dan juga dari Thomas Tuchel. Kita melihat di sini ada Harry Kane yang sudah berjabat tangan tentunya dengan Martin Odegaard. Melihat bagaimana suasana dari ruang VAR, dan juga sampai kita sedikit membahas mungkin ya, menunggu mengenai line up. Tentunya ada nama Noni Madueke yang dimasukkan untuk menggantikan Saka. Ini menarik. Kita kalau melihat Madueke biasanya itu bermain di fase grup, namun Saka di fase gugur, dan sekarang kembali dimasukkan Noni Madueke sampai kita melihat line up dari Norwegia, Bung Erwin.
Ya, ada kiper Orjan Milan yang statusnya free transfer sekarang, dan di posisi 4 back ada Wolfe, ada Hegem, ada Christopher Ajer, dan Julian Riverson. Sementara di posisi gelandang ada Sander Berge, ada Patrick Berg, pemain asal Bodo Glimt, dan Kapten Martin Odegaard. Ada satu perubahan di sisi kiri, Nusa yang digantikan oleh Sjeldrup yang dimainkan, dan juga ada Haaland dan Alexander Sørloth di kanan.
Iya, satu perubahan dari Norwegia dan ada 2 perubahan dari timnas Inggris, tentunya dengan komposisi 4-2-3-1. Silakan Bung Fevri.
Ya, ini menarik ya. Kita lihat kembali Jordan Pickford diberikan kesempatan untuk bermain dari awal. Di belakang kita lihat ada O'Reilly, ada Guéhi, ada Stones, dan juga ada Konsa. Di tengah kita lihat juga ada Declan Rice, ada Anderson, Anthony Gordon, dan Jude Bellingham, serta di depan ada Harry Kane. Dengan formasi seperti biasa 4-2-3-1 mengandalkan sektor sayap Madueke, sementara menjadi pemain yang menggantikan pada Saka di sektor kanan.
Iya pemirsa, tentunya sebentar lagi kick off dari babak yang pertama akan segera dimulai. Kita melihat bagaimana sosok dari sang pelatih Norwegia, 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Ya.
Please stand if you are able for a moment of silence in memory of Jaden Adams, who has sadly passed away at the age of 25. The South African midfielder made his FIFA World Cup debut during this tournament, making 3 appearances as 𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏 qualified for the knockout stage for the first time in their history.
Pemirsa, baru saja kita menyaksikan moment of silence untuk mengenang salah satu pemain dari Afrika Selatan, gelandang timnas dari Afrika Selatan, Jaden Adams, yang meninggal dunia. Ini hanya berselang beberapa pekan setelah tampil di Pesta Bola Dunia 2026. Dan pemirsa, sepertinya pertandingan akan segera dimulai. Satu langkah menuju semifinal Piala Dunia 2026. Tidak ada lagi ruang untuk kesalahan, tidak ada kesempatan kedua. Di satu sisi tentunya Norwegia akan datang membawa kejutan terbesar di turnamen hari ini. Di sisi lain, Inggris tentunya mengusung ambisi mereka untuk mengakhiri penantian panjang mereka. Siapakah yang akan bertahan dan siapakah yang harus mengakhiri perjalanan mereka? Ini dia pertandingan antara Norwegia berhadapan dengan Inggris untuk memperebutkan 1 tiket di semifinal Piala Dunia 2026. Dari studio kami ucapkan selamat menyaksikan.
Away we go at the iconic Miami Stadium, host to 6 Super Bowls over the years, but hasn't had too many occasions like this. Bellingham finds Elliot Anderson. And a first touch for Mark Gay. Gay alongside his clubmate John Stones. The pair of them only played 8 minutes together in the Premier League for Manchester City alongside each other this season. That was in May, but they have experience of playing together in an England shirt prior to tonight.
Yeah, I suppose that would be the one question mark over the relationship between the two of them. Certainly at club level, but also international level, they have played together. But how's that going to gel together? The good thing is, in some ways, they're coming up against Erling Haaland, who they both know very, very well.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's plenty of familiarity, isn't there? Neil, the goalkeeper, who used to play in England. You've got the likes of Martin Odegaard, Sander Berger, and Christopher Ajer, to name but three, as well as Erling Haaland, who ply their trade in England.
Yeah, so England will know them very, very well, as well on the Norwegian side and this England side. It's new territory for both these sides in terms of they've never played each other at a major tournament. So for Norway, not only quarterfinals, but at a major tournament to play against England and vice versa. So it's going to be a really interesting one. I think you can throw form right out the window.
O'Reilly back into Anderson. He's just moved to Manchester City in a British record transfer from Nottingham Forest. First touch of the ball for Noni Madueke. Looking to cause problems with his pace. Not close to finding a teammate in the middle on this occasion, but he's up against David Møller-Wolfe of Wolverhampton Wanderers here in this first half. The left back for Norway. You could have his hands full here trying to keep tabs on the Arsenal player.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt Noni Madueke's got a lot of pace. Question mark will be that delivery in the box we just saw there. It's about the occasion, being, calm enough when you get in that position. You're whipping a really good ball into the box. And it's going to be difficult against this Norwegian side, as they're really, really big as well at the back.
A little bit wayward off the boot of Anthony Gordon. Gay steps in. As Gordon looks for Harry Kane. Beaten to it by Christopher Ajer of Brentford in London. O'Reilly, and now Stones, of course. Stones and Gay in the middle of England's defence up against Haaland, a player they will play against every day of the week in training.
Yeah, will be. That's where there are advantages. There's also that knowing what Haaland can do, what his strengths are, but also then understanding how they are able to combat that. And for Haaland, he'll know the same thing about Gay and Stones. He'll know where he gets the better of them at times in training, and I'm sure that happens as well.
By Ezri Konsa, little touch from Declan Rice, who's certainly been under the weather this week.
Yeah, it's always going to be a challenge. The deeper you go into the tournament, you're going to have these little challenges along the way. Players getting ill, some little knocks, fitness levels in terms of extreme conditions, playing at altitude, now coming into the humidity. That's going to be a challenge for England, and also Norway have had their challenges along the way with the different climates.
Yeah, we've spoken about Kane and Haaland, the two strikers, but big battle in midfield as well between two club teammates who have got the utmost respect for each other, and Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard too. That could be key, that area of the field.
They're two very different types of players, aren't they? I mean, Declan Rice is the one that's going to look to try and shore up that midfield along with Elliot Anderson next to him. They're the engine of the England side, break up play, but also then looking to get the ball forward quickly, and Odegaard is the playmaker. He's the one that Norway turn to, and of course Erling Haaland will be looking towards him heavily for that service.
Here's Konsa, who's acting as a makeshift right back today, but has played at right back before. And the last time he did so actually was for England in last October's friendly international against Wales. Has done it in the past for Villa as well on occasion. They swiftly in, gets the deflection for an England throw.
What we already see is Norway seeing a 4-1-4-1 formation. Sander Berger's the one that likes to sit a little bit deeper.
Too far in front of Jude Bellingham. Boyan Nealon with a comfortable first touch of the ball. Now venturing forward. Berg sends it on its way, away to the far side. Møller-Wolfe. Beckham's in there alongside Ajer. Odegaard dropping back. Reyerson available on the near side for the pass and receives it. Sorloth trying to get on his back, and O'Reilly in the right place to intercept. Gordon running into a spot of bother there against Sorloth, who was too strong and looks for Haaland, and Stones was there, and Rice completes the clearance.
Yeah, just think Sorloth just got the pass slightly wrong. He looks to try and go on the outside of John Stones. He needed to look to play in behind him. Haaland was making a really good run, sort of diagonally across the box there. I think John Stones, had the ball been on target, it would have been a very difficult one to defend against.
Starting for the first time since the opening match of this World Cup when England played against Croatia. Mark Gay then coming in alongside Quansah for every other game until today. But there's that defensive reshuffle following the red card for Jarell Quansah in Mexico last weekend.
I think it's one of the big reasons why John Stones is actually in this squad. His versatility, his ability to come in and off the pitch. Oh yes, on off the park, starting lineups, coming on in games when he needs to, and he's got the experience to deal with it.
Decent ball, just got away from Anthony Gordon for a moment, but Payne finds Nico O'Reilly. Here's Anderson and Rice available, but Madueke collecting. Lagger's gone up on the far side. Promising move, comes to nothing for England. Free kick for Norway.
Yeah, Norway trying to keep the line as high as possible. That ball has been on a couple of times. We've already seen Elliot Anderson play that ball to Madueke. He's just strayed a little bit on the offside, but if it's a good ball, it's the right move. And you'll see him try and play that more often in this game as it goes on.
They've got a few injured players that they need to manage quite carefully, haven't they, England? Bukayo Saka being one of them.
Yeah, very much so. That's going to be the challenge. The longer you go into tournaments, that's always the way. You're going to have players with injury issues.
Quansah being put under pressure here. Falls at the feet of Haaland, sending it back in. Sorloth was in the middle, and Bellingham has it now for England. Superb World Cup he's had so far, Jude Bellingham.
That's very, very good play from Jude Bellingham. Holds his ground very, very well. Keeps control of the ball, doesn't panic. He knows he's got no one really to play the ball to. He just uses his body strength really well to maintain possession and ultimately win that free kick.
England just a little quick with the free kick for the liking of referee 𝗵𝗄.
There you go. Odegaard, a little bit of a talking to, because you just saw that anyone wanted to take a quick free kick. And Odegaard's just poked the ball away, and he's just given a little bit of a word saying that's your one and only opportunity to do that, otherwise next time he'll probably go into the book.
Gordon trying to get the better of 𝗄ᴏ. No draw on this occasion. He's put in a couple of good performances, though, Anthony Gordon, in the last two matches, which has cemented his position for now on the left-hand side for England, ahead of Marcus Rashford, which hasn't been the case throughout this World Cup.
No, he started the first game of the tournament. I thought that it was definitely not his best game, and obviously Marcus Rashford came in for him, and then I think started the next game, and then he's obviously come back into the side, and definitely his performances have grown. He's gotten better as this tournament has gone on.
Sorloth. England doubling up rather nicely. Don't be surprised if this match takes a little while to come to the boil, despite the hot conditions here in South Florida. In the matches that these two sides have played at the World Cup finals this summer, combined, there's only been one goal scored in the first 20 minutes.
Well, you could say they're a little bit of a slow burner, both these sides, finding their way in the game, and obviously, when you're at this stage of the tournament, often it's a bit cagey for both sides, trying to feel their way into the game.
Spreading it away to the far side. They're looking to get Madueke involved in the match wherever possible. FIFA President Gianni Infantino here for this one, alongside His Royal Highness Prince Haakon, the Crown Prince of Norway. 𝗄ᴏ. Pace to burn there for Madueke to win it back for England. Declan Rice.
It's such an important part of the game. Having your wider players track back, try and make a difference in terms of winning back the possession in a good area.
A lot of space here for 𝐃𝐄𝐃𝐃. Can he make the most of it? Good challenge by Aya to reclaim it for Norway, and maybe the chance to break. Solo. This is Sander Berge. I'm happy to leave it for his captain, Odegaard, who's had a very good World Cup. Berg into Reyersson. Here's Sola. Another goal threat for Norway, Alexander Sørloth. Not all about Erling Haaland. He scored 20 goals this season, Sørloth, for Atletico. Half a dozen in the Champions League. 𝗟𝗓𝗏, the one change coming into the team today for Norway, for Solbakkens team. 𝗟𝗓𝗏 in for Musa, who's on the bench. He was their one player on a yellow card. England have 𝐃𝐄𝐃𝐃, Declan Rice, Mark Gay and Jude Bellingham, all a yellow card away from a suspension. It's out by Konsa. Reyersson. Here's Sola. And Riley quick to close him down. Sander Berge, who's been playing in England for the last half dozen years with Fulham now, but formerly with Sheffield United and Burnley as well. And it's too long. Venus Williams here enjoying this World Cup quarter-final.
What I've seen at the stadium here in Miami is the tempo of the games are generally a bit slower build-up, more concentration of just trying to get a bit of field position and then looking to try and hit teams, lifting the tempo all of a sudden. Counter-attack football, Norway will see that probably more of. They did it against Brazil. England will look to be in more possession and try and find gaps, find those little pockets. Anthony Gordon, Jude Bellingham.
With just over 60% of the play so far in the over 14 minutes of the game. Gay. Anderson again, they're going to look for Madueke over on the far side. Ezri Konsa. This is Gay. Rice makes himself available. Steady pace in the humidity in this opening quarter of an hour. Everyone knows it could be a long match ahead. Konsa. Anthony Gordon's just wandered into some space on the near side if England decide to switch the play. Madueke. Patient possession from England. Now they switch it to Gordon. Reyersson swiftly across. Gordon's away, and England will have a corner kick, their first of the match.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to look at a slow draw, but all of a sudden it's going to be a quick turn of pace. Anthony Gordon does well. Racing comes to him as he comes in. He just takes that touch, slightly molecules himself around him, gets on goal side, and it's very, very difficult then for Racing to give anything away other than a corner.
He was pretty good at set plays back in the day, wasn't he, David Beckham, in an England shirt? Corner is easily cleared, but it will be England's ball over on the far side.
Yeah, disappointing delivery. Can't be that first post man. He needs to get more height on it. Or at the very least, if it's a set, like a worked corner, they've got to have that runner get in front of that Norwegian first line of defence to get the flick on.
We're over a quarter of an hour into this match. England haven't touched the ball inside Norway's penalty area as of yet. Rice, Anderson, Gay. Ňoğović up towards Bellingham, and Torbjørn Hegem momentarily retrieving it for Norway. They're happy to just sit back for the time being.
We saw them play like this against Brazil. They did it very, very effectively. Don't see it changing anytime soon. They'll look to try and conserve energy, wait for the right moment to try and win back possession, and then hit them on the counter-attack.
See the position very much dominated by England so far. 65% of the players. Actually, Gordon sends it in. It was towards Madueke. Gordon challenging again. Collected by Declan Rice. Konsa. Norway happy to soak it up for now. Elliot Anderson. The ball from Bellingham. Challenged by Ňoğović. It's been something of a stumbling block for England, the quarter-finals at the World Cup over the years. They failed to progress from 3 of the last 4 matches in the last 8. Did beat Sweden in Russia in 2018, but it was a 2-1 defeat to France 4 years ago in Qatar. MC Gordon tries to find a way past Ryerson. Here's Stones. Space for Anderson. Anderson's delivery is not a bad one. Bellingham tried to get his head on it, and Madueke was racing in on the 6-yard line in the far post area.
Yeah, that's the right idea. Quick ball in behind, then look, no space, bring it back, and then there's that quick whipped-in delivery. It's got to be with pace and accuracy, because Norway have got a clear advantage from the height perspective. Jude Bellingham just couldn't readjust in time, and Madueke in the end, that's a little opportunity to get anything on the end of it.
He's had a shoulder problem in the not-too-distant past, Jude Bellingham. Let's hope there's no issue for him going forward. Well, one in the air by Rice. Odegaard gets a flick off Bellingham. Referee Turpan awards Norway the free kick. Worth noting, though, that it was the other shoulder, the other side, where he had the problem before. He had the operation. Poor ball. Rice finds Kane. First touch for England's captain near the area. Can't find a way past Ajer. Well, it nearly unexpectedly opened up there for England.
Yeah, Norway tried to play out, didn't they? And then England just shuffled across well. But put pressure on the ball, won it high up, and there's that quick ball into Harry Kane. Just thought you wanted Harry Kane get a little bit better touch, bit of turn of pace, take on Ajer on the edge of that box. Anything could happen. So he chose to look for a reverse pass that was quite easily cut out by the Norwegian defence.
Mark Gay for England, winning his 35th cap in this match. We're happy for England to have the ball for now. There's 𝗃𝐃𝐃𝐃. Almost all the play here in the opening 20 minutes inside Norway's half of the field. Not a great deal of it inside their penalty area. Just the one touch in Norway's box so far in the game. O'Reilly looks to potentially change that. Strikers have seen much of the ball here in the opening quarter of this match. Just 9 touches between them up to this point. Gordon faced by Ryerson. Here's O'Reilly. 𝗄𝗏 beaten by the bounce, and 𝗄𝗏 with a chance to clear.
That's right, yeah. 𝗄𝗏 makes the run. He gambles a little bit, has to sometimes. Unfortunately for him, it just takes a pretty big bouncing over his head. And the ball in the box was also another good one.
Back with Bellingham, who sends it 𝗃𝐃𝐃𝐃 way, and 𝗄𝗏 in from the start today in place of Bukayo Saka, who started the match in Mexico and lasted nearly an hour. He's on the bench. From Sorloth, faced by Ryerson. Little exchange there with Gordon. Promising, but 𝗄𝗏 forced a little bit wider than he would have liked. Running that one in, O'Reilly. Almost able to get his right foot round that, but didn't have very long to think about it and react.
No, he didn't. I mean, I don't think he was going for goal. I think he was trying to take a touch. 𝗄𝗏 does really well. But I feel like it's almost gone past him, and he manages to gain control of the ball. Quick move it down to the byline. He whips in that cross. It's a really good ball. Such a difficult area. 𝗄𝗏, I think he's just looking to try and get a touch rather than finish.
England exploding into life there as we head to the hydration break.
Istirahat, turun minum. Cuaca cukup panas di Miami. Yang belum bikin kopi dulu. Yang udah kehabisan udut, silakan cari udut. Ngutang dulu lah malam ini kalau ada masih buka warung. Masih 17 sama skor sementara di babak pertama ini. Dari 17 polling yang masuk, mari kita cek dulu berapa persen sudah.
Online data tracker, monitoring everywhere I browse.
Pendukung mana lebih ramai ini? Pendukung Inggris masih mendominasi sedikit 47%, Norwegia 35%, sedangkan yang mendukung FIFA 18%, masih ada yang mendukung FIFA.
Bisa dibuka di ATM atau kantor cabang. Paham kan sekarang? Do it better di My BCA.
Yo. Jangan lupa 3 jam lagi kita menantikan Argentina berhadapan dengan Swiss. Babak perempat final ke-4. perempat final terakhir untuk menghasilkan tim terakhir yang akan maju ke semifinal. Dua tim sudah memastikan diri, ada Spain, kemudian ada siapa sih?
On board here, much needed on a night like this, or a late afternoon, I should say, like this, 5 p.m. local time, the kickoff time, the earliest of the kickoff times we've had here in Miami, and nothing between these two sides, and barely an opportunity to score a goal worthy of the name for either of them so far.
Yeah, you can really feel what's at stake here. There's a place into the semi-finals. Both sides obviously desperately trying to find their way into this game, wanting to make sure they conserve energy and wait for the right moment to go from certainly Norway. They're happy to sit back, work hard off the ball, just compact and dedicated.
A special year for Norwegian football, special World Cup, their first trip to the finals since they played at France in 1998. Madueke doubled up on and easily relieved of the ball by Andreas 𝗟𝗟 of Benfica. Patrick Berg will venture forward here and find Haaland. Muller-Wolfe. That was a little bit loose there. England with the throw, quick to take it, lovely touch from Bellingham, runs into Ayer. Referee was right on the spot, free kick England.
Bellingham just gets the touch ahead of Ayer, and then he cutters into him. So it's a free kick in a really dangerous position for England. And it all comes about because that really quick throw-in, quick thinking.
But it was possession that Norway didn't need to concede, Mark.
Yeah, that little phase where they had a little bit more possession, sometimes that can happen. All you've done is work hard on shuffling across, closing down the angles, making it difficult for England to play through you. The only way they do is play around you, and then all of a sudden you get a little phase with a bit of possession. And sometimes you can just be a little bit lack a little bit of concentration, and that's certainly the case at that moment. 𝗟𝗟 up there gave a bit of a wayward pass.
Seluruh pemain Norwegia berada dalam kotak terlarang ini.
David Beckham watching on from the stands, how he'd love to be down there with the ball at his feet in that sort of position on the field. Payne and Madueke either side of the ball.
Memanfaatkan dengan baik bahwa Norwegia di menit
That's how it came for England,
ke-28.
and it was right in overtime.
Yeah, what I did, towards the goalkeeper's
Masih di
side,
atas
it's
Mister
a
Gawang.
little bit too close to the 8-yard box to try and get up and over with any real pace.
Di atas Mister
So England
Gawang.
have a little bit of a wall in front of the goalkeeper's vision. And unfortunately for England, Harry Kane just gets too much underneath him.
Hagen skipping away from Madueke. Muller-Wolfe. 𝗟𝗟. There's Torbjørn Hagen. Berger. And Ødegaard, timely sort of return to fitness and form for him. He had an injury-interrupted season with Arsenal on the road to lifting the Premier League title. Only starting 16 of the matches in the league this season, had a knee problem along the way. There's Rielsen, who plays in Germany with Dortmund, and Berger. There's a steady presence in the deep midfield area. Ayer. Nicely done, clear of Bellingham and Gordon. Sorley. Rielsen. First time we've seen Norway venture forward for a little while. Berger's ball in, a little flick there by 𝗟𝗟. Nice to put pressure on Konsa, but Pickford saw that coming.
is the threat. Really behind him, he knows he's got to keep himself in the right position. Was putting him behind, as you know, was 𝗄ᴏ making that late run with the box. Nonton was very, very aware of where he was, and he was grateful he's back to the Pickford, made the decision to come out and collect.
New national record, 18th appearance at the World Cup finals for Jordan Pickford today. Anthony Gordon. But to recycle the play and to collect from Kane, challenged by Ryerson, free kick. Dived in too much. The referee tailpans like it.
He's not very happy with that. I think he considering gets the ball. There's certainly impede on Anthony Gordon there. Gordon was probably a bit fortunate. His first touch was very, very heavy, but just very well.
Over the years and the meetings between the two nations, Norway have won a couple, England have won 7. 3 of the games have been drawn. Norway did win the last competitive meeting, famously in a World Cup qualifier, 2-0 in 1993, ahead of USA 94, when England failed to qualify. And it comes from Declan Rice. Also under pressure from 𝗟𝗪𝗥, but very calm and composed under that pressure. Rice with no passing outlet on the England left here at the moment. 𝗟𝗪𝗥 in the opening half an hour of this match, Mark, moving across into the right-back position.
I think he's done really well. I think he's adjusted well. We saw that moment there where the ball was played in the box. 𝗟𝗪𝗥 making that run into it. In behind him, he adjusted very, very well. Was very well in the situation. We started off with a player out of position, not really adjusting very well, not used to that sort of running behind.
So finding Bellingham. Pressure here on Stones.
Berbahaya, hampir
A
saja.
super shooting opportunity for Haaland. Well, England got away with that one, and Pickford tries to turn the tables and set his teammates on their way with O'Reilly. Here's Gordon, Ryerson there, winning it back. Good competitive play from Norway's right back.
That was a huge moment for Norway. You see Kelurahan get the ball in that sort of position. You fear the worst for England, and obviously you fancy Kelurahan to find the back of the net.
Wow. It was turning into quite a tussle between Gordon and Ryerson. 𝗟𝗪𝗥. For a moment there, Haaland's eyes will have lit up at the prospect of that.
On the contrary, when you look at John Stones' face from that, yeah, it would have been his heart in his mouth for a couple of seconds there. Pickford was very, very alert to the danger and pumped his line very, very quickly.
England have conceded 5 goals so far in this World Cup. 4 of those 5 goals have come in the opening half of the matches. Ryerson. There's Martin Ødegaard. Looking to be the conductor-in-chief here for Norway, their captain. Hegem. 𝗟𝗪𝗥. He's got 𝗟𝗪𝗥 over on the far side. Now in possession. Norway just turning the tables a little bit more now with a little over half an hour, a little over 10 minutes to go to half time. Seeing more of the ball in more threatening areas. Pickford's there.
Sundulan kerasnya luar biasa. Jaga gawang dan masih bola berjalan, bukan pelanggaran tadi.
Kane still not back on his feet, and it's a goal for
Luar biasa, 1-0 untuk Norway. Luar biasa. Walau tadi sempat terjadi pelanggaran atas dia, namun wasit mengatakan bukan pelanggaran dan satu tendangan keras dari 𝗟𝗪𝗥 alih-alih memberikan crossing lambung ke Haaland sendiri, namun dia menciptakan tendangan keras langsung ke arah gawang. Cukup keras, sangat keras, tidak dapat diantisipasi oleh kiper. Masih terjadi protes dari pemain
What a strike. I'm not quite sure it's a strike on goal, but it doesn't matter. In off the post. What a finish.
Andreas Schjelderup is the toast of Norway. It's only the second international goal he's ever scored. Harry Kane complaining that he was fouled. But there will be no major review of this, and England find themselves a goal down. So Norway with the advantage, with something to hold on to here, and England with work to do as Pickford sends it long up towards Kane and surging into the boxes. Brilliant.
Norway capitalised very, very well. Dispossessing Harry Kane in a very dangerous position. Clearly see it wasn't a foul from that moment onwards. The delivery in the box turns out to be a 1-0 goal. After the question, Jordan Pickford just pulls his arm away from it.
It's an awkward fall there for 𝗄ᴏ, England's left back. Sorloth left very frustrated there.
He doesn't go for the ball, does he? Sorloth, all he's worried about is trying to prevent 𝗄ᴏ from getting the ball.
And there we see the match momentum, and all importantly, it is Norway who found the back of the net. As the sun appears in Miami, more or less for the first time today, it's been mostly overcast. 𝗄ᴏ losing out to 𝗄ᴏ, or kept in play. 𝗄ᴏ doing well to retrieve it. Ponsa, Rice. Not the first time England have fallen behind at this World Cup. Notably, they were losing to DR Congo. Two relatively late goals turned the match around. Anthony Gordon against Ryerson, pulled up for the foul.
Yeah, clear foul from Anthony Gordon. Just has to not panic. Not lose their heads a little bit. Just got to stay calm. A lot of football still to be played.
Only twice in all the years at the World Cup finals of England come from behind to win a match, having conceded the opening goal. And here come Norway again. It's just over the top. And the shot from Alexander Sorloth. Another shot across England's bows here late in this first half.
Structured really well. Pickford, I think, had it covered. He was pretty confident this one was going over. Pulls his hand away. Sorloth does well. Difficult chance.
Pickford under pressure. England's cage has been notably rattled here by Norway. You can sense it. Odegaard goes for goal, denied by Jordan Pickford. Really strong spell in the match here for Norway.
You see Jordan Pickford there. Almost starts to go too early. I think Odegaard sees him. He looks to whip it in that near post area. Pickford's just able to adjust in time. Doesn't gather, doesn't make the save cleanly, but it does enough.
And suddenly now, contrary to earlier in the half, Norway's players not sitting back, they're pressing, they're moving in and looking to harass England. John Stones. Rice. 5 minutes to go to half-time, plus added time. Still, England haven't tested 𝗄ᴏ in the Norwegian goal.
Yeah, England's end product in this first half has been really not up to scratch. They haven't really created any chances. You look at Norway already, created a couple of decent chances.
Ødegaard. Pass loose. Noni Madueke closed down by the goal scorer, 𝗟ᴗ. Looking for Bellingham. Trying to bring Kane into the game. Comfortably dealt with by Norway's back line, and Ødegaard optimistic there in trying to find Haaland, but John Stones sends it over the touchline.
You see Norway really feeling like there's something else to get out of this game. England a little bit at the moment nervy, a little bit second best to everything, slow to react. Norway certainly got their tails up after taking the lead.
Rattled by the goal.
They have been. I mean, they've dominated possession, not necessarily play per se, but Norway, and their one real meaningful chance, take the lead.
Interception made by Berger. It's going to be England's free kick.
Well, it is their own doing. I mean, Hurricane being dispossessed in a really dangerous area, going to ground. We've seen it time and time at this World Cup. It wasn't also a foul. Players getting down too easily. Referees allowing play to play on, which is right. And England get punished for it. Yes, it was a bit of a fortunate strike, whether it was a strike on goal, whether it was a cross. End result is all that matters for Norway.
O'Reilly. England looking down the near side. Hasn't been a great deal of joy for Anthony Gordon so far against ᴄᴏİrᴛᴇİrᴜn. North of Madueke on the England right. Rice. Bellingham. We'll be picking out Elliot Anderson. England looking for a little moment of something special to try and bring them back in this match. Andreas 𝗟ᴗ scored, separating the two sides. It's with Mark Gay away from Ødegaard, almost conceding possession there, and 𝗟ᴗ was almost away once more. Bellingham. And they find Kane. Tidied up by Berger initially. Now the chance to break. Gaze on the deck.
Solo di sana tinggal berhadapan dengan kiper. Sementara Haaland sendiri apa yang akan dilakukan?
Solo looks for an opening, and it's a very big block indeed by O'Reilly.
Exceptionally well. He knows he's two against one, and he just delays. So it does not panic whatsoever. It allows England defenders to get back, and Nico O'Reilly's the one in the end that makes a vital challenge. But that is brilliant defending by John Stones.
Norway threatening a second goal here late in this first half.
England have just been way too slow in the build-up. They've allowed Norway to get solid, dipping it right down.
Here's Anthony Gordon. Now it's Madueke. White shirts appearing in and around the penalty area. And England will have a corner.
Looks a bit tempo. We'll get the ball out wide. Not even wait to get the ball, taking on the defender, gets the ball across.
Jagger di sana.
He's seen a few England games over the years. Won't have got much satisfaction from this one so far. England with their second corner of this World Cup quarter-final. Real thicket of players in the vicinity of the penalty spot, all of them being watched by the beady eyes of ᴄᴏ_ᴂ, our referee. Playing towards Bellingham, collected by Rice. Offside.
Yeah, not quite sure what their set play plans are, but so far they have not worked. There's that challenge on Harry Kane, dispossessed. And that's where the ball ends up with 𝗟ᴗ, and his cross shot. Gordon Pickford decides to let it go. Comes off the post and ends up being an absolute phenomenal goal.
Well, we're paying a minimum of 4 additional additional minutes here at the end of this opening half. England yet to really sparkle. England yet to have an attempt on target here in this match, and it all fizzles out again for Gordon on England's left-hand side. Norway defending well here and carrying attacking threat on occasion as well.
4 menit additional tanpa tambahan waktu masih unggul Norwegia 1-0 atas Inggris.
Generally started their matches well, Norway here at this World Cup. They scored half a dozen before half-time now. Here's Gordon.
Tidak ada kawan yang
It was well done. Into
tiba-tiba masuk berbahaya luar biasa, sendiri berhadapan dengan 5 pemain berhasil menyelamatkan kedudukan England 1-1. Semakin seru pertandingan.
Fifth World Cup goal in the United States for Jude Bellingham. Right on the stroke of half
Tidak ada
time.
pemain santai, pemain belakang dari Norwegia tiba-tiba Bellingham muncul.
Plays a really good ball to Jude Bellingham. He's got a lot to do.
Memanfaatkan crossing dari
Movement is
Nonton
excellent.
tadi.
We see how Percy, Elliot Anderson's a ball in behind for Anthony Gordon. Takes a really good touch, looks across, and Bellingham is really quick to react. Takes a really good touch, gives himself space, and fires it across the face of goal. It's a really good goal from Jude Bellingham.
Well, Jude Bellingham scored twice in the first half in the last match against Mexico. That's a really big strike right there to draw England level with half-time on the horizon. That's what England required after a rocky spell when they conceded that opener to Andreas Schelderup. Anderson finds Bellingham. Maybe England aren't done in the first half yet. Surrounded by red-shirted Norwegians. Here's Kane. It's from distance and it's saved by Nilan, who suddenly has been required to make a save soon after picking the ball out of his net after a very quiet first half up to then.
Yeah, you can clearly see we're much more comfortable when Norway trying to get a few more players forward. The game opens up a little bit. They're a lot quicker in their transition, in their counter-attack football. And Harry Kane comes into the game and has a decent enough strike. I always expected Nilan to make that save, but it's better from England.
Well, in these matches, you need your big players to shine, don't you? The margins can be fine, and Bellingham there was excellent once more. Look at the space here for Anthony Gordon. It's amazing how the momentum and suddenly the confidence can flow through the veins of players. It's with Elliot Anderson. England knocking on the door again, almost on the stroke of half-time. It's Kane!
Berbahaya Kane!
The flag goes up on the far side. England thought it was 2-1 for a moment.
Terlebih dahulu Kane sudah terjebak
Part of it once again. His little pass around, yeah, you can see that the referee linesman got absolutely spot on. Harry Kane just goes slightly too early. And the finish is brilliant. It is offside, correct decision.
Well, what a way to finish the first half. It was an excellent call from the referee's assistant on the far side. Plenty for everyone in the stadium to discuss here at the break. There's the man of the moment for England, Jude Bellingham, firing England level in added time at the end of the first half. Andreas Schelderup having scored for Norway 9 minutes before the break. Solbakken, the head coach of Norway, is out talking to the referee as the players leave the field. At half-time, Norway 1, England 1.
Pasti menang dia mah.
Slightly too early. I mean, the finish is great decision.
Well, what a way to finish the first half. It was an excellent call from the referee's assistant on the far side. Plenty for everyone in the stadium to discuss here at the break. There's the man of the moment for England, Jude Bellingham, firing England level in added time at the end of the first half. 𝗄𝐃𝐃𝐃 having scored for Norway 9 minutes before the break. Solbakken, the head coach of Norway, is out talking to the referee as the players leave the field. At half-time, Norway 1, England 1.
Half-time, Norway 1, England.
Well, Ståle Solbakken there, the head coach of Norway, is quite animated in discussion with referee Clement Turpin as they head towards the dressing rooms. But Jude Bellingham, world-class play from England's number 10, which we have seen throughout this World Cup. He was outstanding in particular at the Azteca last week against Mexico. And when his team needed somebody to drag them right back into this match, Bellingham answered the call.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's not really been involved much in this game.
Introducing the Ultimate Protein Drink. Lengkap dengan 16 gram protein. Power up with our protein-packed drinks only at Starbucks.
Lebih gurih, lebih lagi,
Ya, partai yang sangat menegangkan terjadi di Miami Stadium. Kita menyaksikan ada 2 gol yang terjadi dari Andreas Schaldrup dan juga tentunya kita melihat bagaimana Jude Bellingham menyamakan kedudukan tadi. 1-1 sementara ini skor di turun minum, dan yang pastinya kita lihat cuaca yang panas ya, sampai kipas-kipas semuanya, dan Jude Bellingham pun juga tadi keringatnya sangat luar biasa, dan ini memang memberikan tekanan sendiri kepada pemain. Tapi sejauh ini, Bung Wid, apa yang Anda lihat dengan gol pertama tadi yang mengagetkan semua orang? Ada sedikit mungkin indikasi pelanggaran, tapi tidak dicek VAR, tapi akhirnya gol itu terjadi.
Ya, kita melihat di babak pertama Inggris awalnya agak mengkhawatirkan ya. Mereka seperti bermain ketika menghadapi Ghana waktu ditahan 0-0. Kita lihat agak lambat walaupun menguasai bola. Ini kita dengar dulu
interview ya.
Ya.
I feel like the environment, the climate impacted the first 20-25 minutes. Although we had total control and were dominant in the game, it diluted our edge, our offensive power. Then from the water break, we had far too many ball losses. We invited Norway into the counter-attacks. They came into the game where they were almost dormant until that point, and then they have the Haaland warning chance, and then score with maybe an undeserved wonder shot, I would say. But then, of course, we get the important goal ourselves right before the half-time. So I feel like it released the stadium, it released our lads, and now it's all to play for in the second half.
Thank you. Good luck.
Ya, intinya tadi yang dijelaskan bahwa tampil dominan itu sangat penting ya, Bu Wid ya. Dan itu dia mereka upaya lakukan, tapi sayang sekali memang kita lihat skor adalah 1-1, dan penguasaan bola Inggris 69% dominan dibandingkan dengan Norway 25%.
Ya, dengan penguasaan bola sedemikian banyak ya, harusnya Inggris menciptakan peluang lebih banyak tadi di babak pertama. Tapi itu tadi mereka bermain terlalu lamban, seolah membiarkan Norwegia berkembang ya. Dan mereka sudah dapat tanda bahaya ketika tadi John Stones sempat membuat kesalahan, hampir aja dimanfaatkan oleh Haaland. Tapi kemudian Inggris terus makin lama makin tertekan, dan Schaldrup tadi bisa mencetak gol dengan Inggris memprotes kemungkinan pelanggaran terhadap Kane ya, tapi kayaknya sih itu bukan pelanggaran sih.
Bukan pelanggaran ya. Dan ini adalah 2 head-to-head, Andreas Schaldrup dan juga Jude Bellingham, Bung Wes.
Kalau kita lihat formasinya ya, dengan gaya bermain Inggris tadi, mau nggak mau kita harus memberikan acungan jempol Bellingham yang bisa masuk dalam pertahanan Norwegia yang hampir kita bisa katakan tadi Inggris sulit sekali membongkar pertahanan karena mainnya lambat sekali, dan mencoba menyerang dari sisi kanan pertahanan Norwegia yang dikenal oleh Resen juga tidak bisa jebol, dan itu sebuah insting yang sangat baik dari Jude Bellingham masuk dari second line.
Iya, dan ini final trade entries kita lihat bagaimana sektor sebelah kiri ya yang betul-betul dipush oleh Inggris di sana, dan pasti juga Bung Wes tadi Anda sempat mengatakan di awal off air ya bahwa ini kok kayak hati-hati ini ke dua tim terutama Inggris untuk bermain. Ya itulah tekanan yang kita bahas tadi di awal ya.
Iya, karena kalau mereka mengawali dengan salah strategi bisa jadi ke depannya sulit sekali mereka menemukan momentum. Tapi
kembali oleh Norway, namun akhirnya satu gol dari Jude Bellingham berhasil menyamakan kedudukan mereka satu sama. Dan juga kalau kita melihat di sini ada sisi dari flank dari Inggris, tentunya ada nama 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝐃 yang tentunya ini menggantikan posisi yang seharusnya 𝗵𝗵 Saka dimainkan di pertandingan sebelumnya di fase gugur. Bagaimana Anda melihat performa dari 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝐃 sebagai starter dari pertandingan menghadapi Norwegia ini, Bung?
Ya, kadang-kadang ini kita lihat statistik dulu ya.
Ya.
Wow. Dari Inggris sangat mendominasi dengan 69% possession, attempts on goal-nya, tapi yang lebih banyak adalah Norwegia. Ada attempts on targetnya juga Norwegia. Jadi memang kelihatan Norwegia ini bermain cukup efektif meskipun mereka kalah dari possession.
Iya. Dan juga tadi berbicara mengenai penampilan dari 𝗵𝗵 Saka ya di babak yang pertama, bagaimana Anda melihatnya, Bung?
𝗵𝗵 Saka belum dimainkan ya.
Mohon maaf. 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝐃 tentu.
Ya, 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝐃 tampil saya pikir memang belum terlalu maksimal ya.
Ya.
Karena juga mendapat penjagaan juga sangat baik tadi dari David Moller ya. Dan ini memang terlihat nampaknya memang fullback kiri kanan daripada Norwegia ini menjaga pergerakan 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝐃 dan juga Gordon sangat baik. Namun keuntungan dari tadi Gordon, dia bisa mencari positioning dari tengah, dia bergerak membuka ruang dan dapatkan bola tadi daripada O'Reilly dan akhirnya bisa memberikan umpan tarik dengan baik kepada Jude. Artinya memang di akhir-akhir babak pertama tadi ada kelonggaran konsentrasi dari fullback kanan Ryerson dari Norway sehingga akhirnya disitulah dimanfaatkan oleh Gordon.
Oke, baiklah pemirsa, seperti apa perubahan yang akan dilakukan oleh kedua pelatih di jalannya pertandingan 45 menit yang kedua? Kami akan membahas setelah pesan-pesan berikut ini, tetaplah bersama kami.
Kalau kita lihat bukannya tanpa sebab, karena kalau di kanan itu agak ke kanan pertahanan gawang sebenarnya. Tapi tadi dari total 5 tembakan, salah satunya tembakan dari luar kotak penalti ya ini. Selebihnya mereka bisa masuk dan itu berbahaya kalau tidak diantisipasi oleh pertahanan Norwegia. Mereka masuk dalam kotak penalti semakin sering.
Ya, ini mungkin akan disesali oleh Haaland ya. Bagaimana sundulan yang terbuka tadi justru tidak bisa dimanfaatkan dengan baik, Bang.
Ya, sundulan yang memang tidak cukup tajam ya.
Lanjutnya ke sini nih, ini mirip seperti yang kemarin terjadi ketika Argentina menghadapi Mesir ya. Ada pelanggaran, dibiarkan dulu, saya juga sempat lihat tadi dan akhirnya tercipta sebuah gol yang spektakuler yang Bung sih bilang ini kayaknya bukan mau nyetak gol nih sepertinya.
Ya, kayaknya sih umpan ya, kayaknya mencoba mengumpan ke Haaland ke tiang jauh, cuma kelihatannya upaya umpan itu berubah jadi tembakan dan itu gagal diantisipasi oleh Pickford.
Karena ada Haaland di sisi tiang jauh di sana ya.
Kelihatannya mengarah ke Haaland.
Bolanya kekencengan juga.
Kekencengan juga. Tapi ini apakah pelanggaran, Bung Wes, yang Anda lihat?
Saya makanya awalnya kita berharap ada review dari VAR ya. Tapi kalau lihat proses pelanggarannya tidak gamblang kalau dianggap menyentuh kaki duluan. Sebenarnya kita menunggu apakah ada VAR
minimal ya.
Iya, karena di pertandingan lain pelanggaran jauh sekali bisa di VAR kok.
Iya, bisa di VAR dan tentunya juga kita melihat di sini tadi selebrasinya juga agak setengah-setengah. Ragu-ragu karena dia pun juga pasti tahu kemarin wah ini kayaknya ada.
Karena yang dilanggar Harry Kane.
Iya, yang dilanggarnya Harry Kane. Ya, dan Harry Kane juga tadi sempat mempertanyakan itu, tapi secara keseluruhan tim Inggris tidak melakukan protes besar ya, Bung.
Bagi saya ini sebuah pelajaran ketika wasit tidak meniup peluit, ya anggap saja itu harus anggap bukan pelanggaran dan harus kembali membangun organisasi pertahanan. Kalaupun nanti wasit meniupkan peluit ada review VAR, itu masih paling tidak bukan pemain tinggal 10 yang bertahan di lapangan, satu bermain sandiwara dengan cedera.
Iya, tadi Haaland aja masih celingukan di sana tadi. Dia
ragu-ragu juga kan?
Iya, ragu-ragu karena ketika wasit udah megang headset ya, itu artinya oh ini ada callingan atau enggak. Tapi gol ini, Bellingham, apa yang Anda lihat dengan penetrasi yang dilakukan?
Iya, bagus sekali ya. Kita sudah sebut tadi di awal bahwa Bellingham akan sangat berbahaya dari lini kedua dan ini persis gol ini terjadi lewat proses itu. Bagaimana Bellingham bisa mencari ruang ya. Kita lihat bola dari Gordon ini susah ini pergerakan dari Bellingham. Dia harus menjauh dari back Norwegia sekaligus mencari ruang tembak ya. Tapi dia bisa melakukannya dengan sekali sentuh. Ini tentu sebuah momen yang krusial buat Inggris karena sangat tepat mereka bisa menyamakan skor sebelum babak pertama berakhir ya.
Iya, dan lagi-lagi ya ini 4 kali pertandingan beruntun bahwa sisi kanan permainan Norwegia yang dicecer dan lihat umpannya kan dari sisi. Jadi gol melawan Irak, Senegal, melawan Prancis itu mereka menyerang dari sisi kanan Norwegia dan Inggris memanfaatkan itu dengan sangat baik.
Dan tadi terlihat faktor krusialnya tendangan yang dilakukan oleh penjaga gawang ya. Umpan ke depan yang sangat krusial karena berawal dari situ tadi tendangan yang tidak sempurna jatuh di kaki pemain Inggris, bahkan tidak sampai ke apa bisa dikatakan juga sisi terluar yang diharapkan, dan diambil cepat langsung dimanfaatkan, dan Bellingham mencocor dengan sebuah tendangan yang sangat-sangat presisi tadi dan akhirnya menjadi gol.
Sekian detik loh itu dia keputusannya.
Selama 40 menit pertahanan Norwegia tampil cukup bagus, tapi satu momen ini aja memperlihatkan bagaimana bocornya memang lini belakang mereka ya sepanjang turnamen. Kita bisa melihat bagaimana Solbakken sangat mengarah ketika melihat gol ini terjadi.
Betul, karena tentunya dengan permainan yang bisa dikatakan tidak begitu dominan tadi, berhasil mencetak gol di awal itu harus betul-betul dimanfaatkan dan tidak boleh disia-siakan dengan pertahanan yang buruk pastinya. Dan masih ada harapan memang, kita lihat Haaland belum tersenyum dengan lebar, dia masih mencari cara bagaimana untuk lepas dari kawalan back-back yang sudah dia hafal tentunya sepanjang karir sepak bolanya, Bung Wes.
Dan ini bagi saya adalah sebuah catatan ya, ketika Anda mengawal satu orang, sisi lain itu bisa kebobolan. Ketika Anda mengawal Harry Kane, ada Jude Bellingham. Ketika Anda mengawal Haaland, ada Sulderup yang memainkan peran, meskipun kalau Wiwit tadi katakan ini umpan yang sangat kencang ya. Dengan kakinya kan kaki umpan itu, bukan kaki tendangan. Dan tingkat produktivitas kedua tim memang terlihat. Inggris itu sangat termasuk tim yang produktif di 15 menit akhir babak pertama, 15 menit akhir babak kedua. Dan pergantian pemain itu membuat Inggris kaya akan variasi serangan. Dan sementara bagi Norwegia, mereka memang kerap kebobolan di 15 menit akhir itu. Jadi ini menit-menit yang kata banyak pelatih adalah menit konsentrasi. Anda gagal menjaga konsentrasi di penghujung pertandingan, entah itu babak pertama, babak kedua, lawan tim yang punya kemampuan membunuh sangat baik, ya risikonya adalah kebobolan.
Ya, dan tadi juga kita sempat membahas para pemain yang tentunya terkena flu ya. Karena kita tahu sendiri bahwa ya memang flu-nya sudah mulai membaik, tapi kita juga sering merasakan ya bahwa hari ketiga, hari keempat itu kalau misalnya gawat flu-nya, lemesnya masih ada ya. Declan Rice, Anda melihatnya seperti apa Bung Wei tadi?
Ya, penampilannya mungkin terbantu oleh Elliot Anderson ya. Kita bisa melihat bagaimana Declan Rice tidak terlalu fit tadi.
Absolutely coming through. He demonstrated what he could do in the last couple of minutes of that game. Now it's going to be goals for real, not offside. They're going to be set.
Iya, terima kasih Rahmat Idris tentunya atas keseruannya. Kita bisa melihat ya bagaimana suasana dari media center bersama dengan tim Dubes Inggris. Dan tentunya pemirsa, kami masih akan membahas seperti apa perubahan taktik dari Thomas Tuchel dan juga Stali Solbakken. Kami akan membahasnya setelah pesan-pesan berikut ini. Tetaplah bersama kami.
Transferan masuk di My BCA, duit better dipisah di poket rupiah. Lalu kunci dengan kunci poket yang hanya bisa dibuka di ATM atau kantor cabang. Paham kan sekarang? Duit better di My BCA.
Kayaknya kakek udah lupa deh, kita ganti warna buat kakek.
Jadi tiba-tiba mereka mandi pakai Lifebuoy Limited Edition. Ganti warna, tenangin hati kakek dan bahagia.
Hydroplus Isotonic Green diberi isotonik untuk segarkan aktivitas olahragamu. Hydroplus Isotonic Plus, durasi maksimal. Hydroplus Isotonic Green diberi isotonik untuk segarkan aktivitas olahragamu. Hydroplus Isotonic Plus, durasi maksimal.
Bikin nyaman di lambung. Kristalin, bikin hidup lebih ringan.
Kapan nikah? Makin berumur loh. Pertanyaannya ringan aja lah. Dengan pH seimbang, rasanya ringan di tenggorokan, bikin nyaman di lambung. Kristalin bikin hidup lebih ringan.
Ya, kita menuju Miami Stadium, pertandingan akan segera dimulai. Singkat saja, Bung Wei, apa yang Anda lihat di babak kedua nanti dan prediksi lah siapa yang akan mengambil keuntungan nanti?
Ya, kalau untuk taktik mematikan Haaland, rasanya Inggris sudah menjalankan strategi yang tepat ya tadi babak pertama ya. Haaland hampir tidak berbuat apa-apa tadi di babak pertama. Ini yang harus diteruskan oleh Inggris sambil mereka mencoba menaikkan tempo, karena dengan kekuatan bola yang mereka lakukan di babak pertama, mungkin Inggris seharusnya bisa memiliki lebih banyak peluang ya.
Ya, masuk ke EC, Bung Wes.
Ya,
Selanjutnya prediksi kita bahwa Inggris akan melakukan perubahan di awal babak kedua
dan Saka ya
terbukti karena di sisi kanan juga kurang menonjol ya kalau kita lihat permainan dari Inggris. Kiri pun tadi saya pikir Marcus Rashford yang bermain sejak awal.
Madueke dan Rice ya.
Kayaknya masih hangat badannya.
Nasinya masih hangat.
Madueke juga tidak terlalu kelihatan. Tidak terlalu kelihatan. Kanan Inggris tidak terlalu baik.
Iya. Biasanya Garam dan Madu ini nasi dan Madu ya. Kita akan lihat seperti apa pertandingan di babak di jalan menuju final bagi Norwegia dan juga Inggris. Kemudian studio mengucapkan selamat menyaksikan.
In that first half, and he didn't. So the players certainly coming on. I think offers a little bit more.
And also get ready for
down that
trip
right-hand
to
side.
Atlanta, Georgia. On Wednesday, of course, to the second half. Need an additional 30 minutes. Final check the ᴄᴏ fact. Ultimately, of penalty kicks if required. All to play for here. 45 minutes for either of these two to claim a place in the World Cup semi-finals and get
into that Declan Rice sort of position and reaching Eze up front, or whether he's going to go with the two number 10s and have Elliot Anderson in the sole one sitting deep in midfield. That looks more likely the case as this game starts in the second half.
Anderson dropping deep to collect possession into Bellingham, who finds O'Reilly. Was that goal from Norway, and the reply from Bellingham, just what England needed to kickstart them really into life in this game. Kane is fouled. The free kick from England's point of view is in a decent spot.
Yeah, it's a more positive start from England. When you compare the first 45 minutes when we kicked off, as you can see clearly there is a treading on the foot of Harry Kane. For his cam is always an interesting one. He's right on the spot, sees it straight away.
Clemente, vastly experienced. This is the third World Cup that he's refereed matches at. This is his fourth game of this tournament. Second time he's taken charge of a match involving England here in the United States this summer. Declan Rice taking his spot in the dugout for the second half. He's certainly been struggling. He's had a neural issue as well, which he's been managing for quite a while. So he's been playing in quite a lot of pain actually during this World Cup. Never mind the stomach upset and the illness that he's suffered since the trip to Mexico last weekend. So an early opportunity perhaps here for England. ᴄᴏ Eze only just onto the field, having come off the bench at half-time, strikes it, and the deflection comes off Anthony Gordon behind for... Should be fresh, Eze, and he played for 55 minutes in total here at the World Cup.
That's a very positive substitution, bringing on Eze this second half, considering, you're taking off Declan Rice, ᴄᴏ, you're looking to try and be a little bit more offensive, certainly through the middle with Eze. It's more comfortable through the middle, it's being wider.
Ireland having quite a tussle there with Anderson, and referee quickly on the spot to calm everything down and wisely allowing the game to continue. I get the feeling the first half handbrake will come off a little bit more now, Mark, with 45 to go.
Yeah, I think both sides have settled into this game, of course. In England, I think having that half-time break, I'm sure Thomas Tuchel would have been a lot more encouraging of going forward, being a little bit more on the front foot, taking a bit more care with the ball, but also being a bit quicker in that transition rather than just dwelling on the ball and slowing the pace of the game down.
Riley quickly in on Alexander Sorloth, pressure on ᴄᴏ. This is Christopher Ajer. Now tipped by Torbjorn Hegem into Kjeldrup. Sunderberger. ᴄᴏ. Okay, across to Bukayo Saka chasing him down towards the corner. ahead of 𝗄𝐃𝐃.
Very good work from Saka. When your wide players do help out, do get back, trying to help out in defence.
Back with England, who hasn't been called into action terribly often in this match so far. He's looking for Haaland. Comfortable for Jordan Pickford, who looks for England's goal scorer, Jude Bellingham. There's a much greater intensity and pace here, and more lovely play from Bellingham, who brings Saka into the game. Tuchel had seen enough in the first half with Saka on the bench.
Brilliant once again from Jude Bellingham. Great skills, tight ball control.
Bellingham furthest forward through the middle as well at the moment there, inside the D on the edge of the penalty area. This is 𝐃𝐃 into Anderson. Gay. O'Reilly getting forward. Opening up in front of Alexander Sorloth. England chasing back. Haaland's touch. Bird going for it. Brilliantly done by Eze. England suddenly turning the tables. Saka, first chance to deliver something in the penalty area. Goes for goal. The block is made by 𝗄𝐿𝐿.
An opportunity to get that ball across the face of goal. The minute he cuts back on his left, he's got a lot to try and find that far post area. So he goes for that shot from the near post. It's quite easily covered.
The tension is going to grow with every passing minute here in this quarter-final. But look at the advantage and the space gained by Berger away to the far side, and well, it ended up being a little bit closer than it might have done because Sorloth thought that he'd made a bit of a hash of it.
Yeah, he certainly did. Miskicked it. Almost sneaks in, but he was expected to cover that. This is going to be the challenge for England with the two more offensive number 10s in Bellingham staying forward. There's a forward. Obviously, Elliot Anderson's the only one that's staying deeper, or a man short in that regard, so has to be very careful. Someone has to be very aware of that. Wide play on the left either needs to tuck in, someone needs to come back and help out in defence.
Sizable section of Norwegian fans gathered behind the goal to which they are kicking in this second half. First chance for Norway to apply some pressure, and England's captain Harry Kane with a firm nod clear of his penalty area. Grayson, good looking ball, Haaland. Corner.
Yeah, difficult chance for Haaland. Ball slightly going away from him. Does well to adjust and get a decent header on goal. Picked it in the end. Felt like it might have squirmed underneath him. Just gets his timing right in the end.
Well, there's his dad, Alfie Haaland, looking on. Former player as well. Haaland, of course, actually born in England because his dad was playing there at the time, so born in Leeds. Grierson's delivery just needed a touch which could easily have diverted it into Pickford's net.
Yeah, good delivery. One of the few we've had from set play so far in this game. Grierson's delivery, that near post area was very, very good. Sorloth for one that gets the touch. Almost falls for him at the far post.
Yeah, Torbjorn Heggen was just a couple of yards in front of the ball by the time it reached him. England penned in, and referee Turpan has spotted something he's not happy with. Now he's ready. Anderson's trying to keep tabs on Haaland, ends up on the ground. And the shot is saved brilliantly, and it's into the back of the net. It's 2-1. 𝗂𝐃𝐄𝐃𝐃. England couldn't get it clear from the corner. And for the second time in the match, it is Norway who have the advantage.
That's a big moment of the game, isn't it? Delivery again, consistent pressure on the England goal. Another good delivery into the box. And Hagen's the one that reacts the quickest in the end. And that's a good finish. Yes, he gets a bit fortunate with the ball falling straight to him. He still has to adjust really well.
There was a tussle, I think, before the ball actually came in. Watch Elliot Anderson here going down. That was before the ball even came into the box. Well, there he was. Johnny on the spot. 𝗂𝐃𝐄𝐃 with his first ever international goal. The check is ongoing to confirm the goal will stand or otherwise. It is being looked at by Jerome Brisard and the team in the VAR hub.
It'll be interesting to see how they see this one. The referee's going to be asked to look at it, I think.
The referee's going to come and have a look. It has to be for the challenge on Anderson, who clearly went down after tussling with Haaland.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because we're seeing so much of this tournament where players going to ground, the referee more often than not has allowed play to continue.
That's what the referee is looking at. Well, he needs everyone to stand back. This is the view of 𝗟𝐿, who has seen enough already. We await his verdict, which will be just a few moments away. Big moment in the game, this. Which way will it go?
Review. Number 9 of Norway pushed deliberately the defender before the ball was in play.
The foul by Haaland on Anderson.
Corner retaken.
Stays at 1-1. Norway left frustrated.
I think it was too much in it. Too big a push from Haaland. The referee saw there was a bit of a shot beforehand. And there are two hands clearly on his chest. And then it's Anderson's chest. He shoves him out of the way.
So the referee disallows the goal, but the corner kick will be retaken. Presumably because the foul happened before the ball had been put into play.
Yes.
That's why we've gone back to retake the corner.
That's right, with a new rule change. That's sort of the way they're refereeing these corner kicks.
Well, England are not out of the woods yet on this set play. What if Norway get up their sleeves here now? Pressure for England to try and deal with. It was aimed towards Haaland, and Bellingham with a little time to send it forward. Norway will get the throw. And 𝗂𝐿𝐴𝐿, the right back, is down and will, it would seem, require some treatment potentially here. 𝗂𝐿𝐴𝐿 not looking terribly comfortable at the moment. Played just over an hour against Brazil. This is the third start that he's made at the World Cup. Didn't play in the match before that, and it would appear that there's every chance that Norway might have to make a change here. Well, some of the great and good are watching on there. Something of a who's who of FIFA legends from over the years inside the stadium today. Players taking every available opportunity to cool down here in the humidity of Miami. Well, Ryerson has the demeanour of a man who might be about to depart the stage here.
Yeah, it looks like he is. They've got a substitution ready.
And that is what's going to happen. We're about to see Frederik Orsnes of Benfica. He started 10 matches in the Champions League this past season. And he comes off the bench for the third time in a row in the knockout stages. So an experienced player, central midfielder, Frederik Orsnes. Bit of reorganisation perhaps for Norway. Bellingham just losing control of the ball. O'Reilly's under pressure. Ødegaard's pass in towards Sorloth, but O'Reilly, the pace of youth enabled him to get back and claim the ball for England. This is Anthony Gordon. Gay looking for Bellingham, having quite the tussle with Christopher Ajer. Berger steps in. Here now is Heggen, who thought he'd scored.
Momentum shifted a little bit. Norway certainly on the up. That goal rattled England once it came. We've seen it a second time.
Here come Norway with renewed purpose. Berg's ball back to Berger. Ødegaard. To Orsnes. Norway winners of 4 matches already at this World Cup. It's the first time they've won that many games at the finals. They've won 2 of their first 8 at the World Cup over the years before their trip to the USA this summer. For a first win against a fellow European nation at the World Cup, Norway. Neelan, who's been with Sevilla the last 3 years, but just left them this summer, having spent most of the season on the bench. Orsnes, the makeshift right back. Sorloth, strong under pressure. Harassed a little deeper, but that was very composed indeed, and picking out shoulder up, and Orsnes now venturing forward. Sunderberger. Ireland waits in the middle. Patrick Berg up there on the edge of the box too. For an opening. Looks to put it on a plate for somebody. Over it comes. Anderson's there. It had. Slow the pace down. There's Ryerson. What a frustrating end to the match for him. FIFA's president watching on there with the Haakon Crown Prince of Norway. He was up out of his seat a few minutes ago, thinking that his country were leading by 2-1, as we all did at the time. England looking to try and get Saka into the game.
England have lost the balance of their back with Bellingham as being so far forward, and Anderson trying to control midfield by himself in that deep line role. Norway beat that first press. Acres of room to run into.
They deep for the challenge on Bellingham, which then denied the opportunity to take the kick quickly, much to his frustration. I think he'll be very pleased with the way his team have acquitted themselves so far in this match. Swept forward off the boot of Anderson, chased by Anthony Gordon, and behind for a goal kick.
That's the ball's over the top.
Alessandro Del Piero, bottom right. Focus in there. Arsene Wenger at the back. Cesc Fabregas, back left as well. The Yuri Djorkaeff, Cafu. It's a who's who. For somebody to find a winning goal here. Tension's going to ratchet up with every passing minute. Saka, good challenge by 𝗟𝗟. Elliot Anderson snapping in, gets it back for England, moves it away from the traffic a little bit. There's some room for Anthony Gordon here. Kane's in the middle, Eza on the edge of the box too. Gordon's done well. What's the delivery like? Not bad. Kane under pressure. And losing out, and sent on its way by 𝗟𝗟. Pickford's gone for a walk. John Stones.
Yeah, 𝗟𝗟 does really well. Pass there, Harry Kane looks like he takes his first touch. He's trying to line up for a strike on goal. And 𝗟𝗟 was really quick to react. Gets that important challenge in.
As expected, it's going to be a tight one either way. This quarter-final between these two. Reminder, it's Argentina or Switzerland for the winners. That match will be in Atlanta on Wednesday. The first semi-final, France against Spain. Mouth-watering encounter in Dallas on Tuesday. The activity down on the bench, and Alexander Sorloth is going. We're going to see Antonio Nusa coming on, and we're also going to see Oscar Bob of Manchester City. Oscar Bob coming on. So Sorloth makes way, Bob is on, and Andreas 𝗟𝗟 is the other player going off. He was brought in instead of Nusa for this game. So two attacking changes by Solbakken as well there for Norway, Mark.
Yeah, they want to still keep that energy going forward. They've had a good share of possession. In this second half, England have sort of faded away a little bit. Found it difficult to get there in that home half. And Norway have been very, very positive.
To play for 3/4 of the way through the game. Norway 1, England 1.
Transferan masuk, di My BCA, duit better bisa di...
Dikejar deadline tugas, berasa berat ya. Baru sourdough dari Pizza Hut. Sekali gigit, langsung bisa ringanin kamu. Teksturnya ringan, lembut, dan renyah. Cobain sourdough pizza. Ringan tiap gigitan, bikin gak beban. Pesan sekarang di Pizza Hut.
Salut untuk mereka yang mengubah angan-angan jadi kenyataan dengan hemat gerakan. Telkomsel 5G, dekatnya nyata, pintarnya terasa. Tepuk tangan untuk mereka yang mengubah momen gak asing jadi lancar, sungguh fantastik. Telkomsel 5G, dekatnya nyata, pintarnya terasa.
Excuse me. Who's that? Online data tracker. Follows me everywhere I browse.
Is that a fair comment?
I think yeah, they definitely have been. I mean, obviously they've had that goal ruled out. Consistent pressure, they've had some good deliveries in the box. That's caused England a lot of problems. That has been lacking a little bit so far in this game, but Norway in this second half have been certainly the better of the two teams.
What a big 20 minutes coming up for these two sets of players, and Reece James is coming on for England to replace Anthony Gordon. Reece James, who's been out with a hamstring injury, started the first two games, hasn't played since then, but is on for what remains of this one. So James slotting into midfield here, presumably to shore things up a little bit in a defensive midfield role, Mark.
Yeah, you would think so. I think that's certainly something that they've struggled a little bit in this second half. Having the two number 10s, I think looking always trying to get further forward. He did that very well in the first half. There's coming on, making sort of similar runs as well. Now bringing on Reece James. He's the one that's going to be in the midfield. He's going to be the one that's going to be trying to just mop up a little bit.
Well, Ezra's going to have more space, isn't he, over on that far side on the England left now, where he's taken up his position. Pickford being pressured by Odegaard. First touch for Reece James, almost giving the ball away. Needs to get up to speed pretty quickly here. That's what they're doing. Anderson chasing hard, up against the strong physical presence of 𝗏𝗏 𝐼𝐾𝐿. That was really good defending there by 𝐼𝐾𝐿. Solid look about Norway's central defensive area, backed up, of course, by Sander Berge. Kane sniffing around, nothing for him in terms of goal-scoring opportunity, really, in this second period. One now, but they have finished quite strongly in their matches here. They've scored 5 goals in the last 20 minutes here at this World Cup. It's given away by Neelan, no joy for England.
Gambles almost pays off. He feels like he's going to control pretty comfortably, just can't get his feet right again.
O'Reilly finds Eza. England haven't really had a spell in the ascendancy since half-time. Turn the momentum of the game a little bit their way after a good spell for Norway. Konsa's got well forward here ahead of Saka. Here's Reece James now, sending it in. Orsnes with the header clear. Challenge made by Mark Gay, who stays on the ground, slow to get up. Orsnes now breaking clear. Haaland waits in the middle, of course he does. Konsa close to it. Here's Oscar Bob trying to tiptoe past O'Reilly, and it bounces kindly for England.
Nico O'Reilly, once again, does very, very well. Stays on his feet, doesn't dive in. It's a vital reception, vital challenge. See there.
Mark Gay looks really frustrated, actually.
He's got the wound to show it, I think. Certainly a ripped sock.
Which he's now showing to the referee. Managed to have a shot on target in the second half, officially here so far. There's a terrific ball in towards Haaland. Big header away by Gay. England haven't got the danger clear. Erling Haaland looks to provide a good run by Patrick Berg. Header clear from Konsa. Antonio Nusa. Norway looking really lively. Constance there again for England. It will be a corner though. This is impressive from Norway.
This guy's the right back for England. And Constance deals with the threat very, very well. Stays on his feet once again. They know any touch could bring down and be a penalty.
Well, John Terry and Ashley Cole were key defensive players for England for a good many years. But like Thomas Tuchel, they can only watch on at this moment in time, with England under pressure as we head towards the final 15 minutes of this World Cup quarter-final. Berg's ready to take. Helmut Turpan making sure everyone's behaving themselves. Feel the tension in the stadium. Over it comes from Patrick Berg. Pickford tries to get to it. Oshnes bobbles it back in. Off the top of the bar. Oh, that's on deck for England. Haaland goes for goal and for once can't quite find it. England under extreme pressure. Konsa gets up with an uncomfortable limp.
Yeah, delivering the box is another one, another good one. John Pickford does well. Just can't quite get the distance on it. The rebound off the crossbar, you feel like there's a big chance for Norway. They just can't capitalise. England have been holding on. Really good last-ditch defending from England.
Bellingham. Payne stretching. 76 minutes in, England without an attempt for a good while now in this second half. O'Reilly making tracks down the far side, but again, good defensive play, and Fredrik Oshnes has got up to the speed of the game really quickly, having come on to replace Reasson. Easy header away for Berg. O'Reilly can't get it past Bob. This is Eze. Stones. And then they've certainly got plenty of attacking flair on the pitch. Just need to find a little bit of it. No joy for Saka. Good play from Gay up against Haaland. In from Eze, looking for Kane. Hegum there first. Saka. Anderson looking to sneak in beyond everyone at the far post as Saka curls that one in, and Anderson was almost on the end of it.
Yeah, that's the type of ball you need. Really good delivery from Saka. Unfortunately, just off target. Anderson couldn't get to it. It was always going away from him. Just needed a touch. They are so difficult to defend against. Quality of the ball is excellent. It's just that high. It's very difficult to defend against. Chance off the crossbar. It's a big moment for Norway. England defending for their lives.
Here's what they might have to do here as Haaland sends it back towards Berger. Kane tries to get involved. Sander Berger has it for Norway, who continue to play really well here at this World Cup. Their first World Cup final since 1998. First visit of the century to the tournament. Really making their presence felt. Still with an excellent chance of reaching the semi-finals. 𝗂𝗏𝗏 into Berger. Odegaard. Auschwitz. Ireland's just loitering near the penalty spot, feigning disinterest, ready to burst into life. Oscar Bob. Berg. There's a confidence about Norway.
Yeah, certainly playing with a bit of freedom as well. Nice sort of tempo of the game. Dealt with the pressure well on the more threatening side in the second half.
Antonio Nusa looks to create an opening. It's a decent looking ball that hangs in the air, and O'Reilly getting there.
The overload on the far post. Odegaard making that run. And Nusa. O'Reilly once again alert to the danger.
Nusa finds Berger. Here's Auschwitz. Oscar Bob waiting patiently. Far side, plenty of red shirts coming forward now. Bob looks to try and pick the lock of England's defence. Can't get it past Reece James. Bellingham with the header away. Eze under pressure. Here's Patrick Berg. England all appealing. And Reece James not quite managing to win the ball back. Space in midfield here for Berger and then for Antonio Nusa, who's seen plenty of the ball in the short time he's been on the pitch. It's going to be another corner for Norway here.
It's been pretty persistent, hasn't it, from Norway? Really putting more and more pressure on the ball.
There's Magnus Carlsen, a Norwegian chess player and World Cup winner. Patrick Berg prepares to take this corner. Patrick Berg of Bode Glimt, of course, who've had such an excellent couple of seasons in the European competitions. Everybody back within 12 yards of their own goal here in white. Berg's delivery, Kane's header away. Odegaard. And the improvisation not quite working on this occasion.
Yeah. Poor delivery from Odegaard in the end, his quality. All the time on the ball, just tries a little bit of a clever one over the top.
In this second half, Norway have looked the more likely. Half an hour since England's last attempt on goal, which was from Bukayo Saka. It is he who's trying to get hold of the ball deep inside Norway's half. Falls favourably for Berger and for Neelan, who's had a very quiet second period. Martin Odegaard. It's Auschwitz on the far side, Norway's throw. Change coming for England with Jed Spence ready to come on. He came on in Mexico in the last match and performed well. 12th cap will be coming up for him shortly, and he will replace Nico O'Reilly. That's what we're expecting. Norway, meanwhile, are looking to get on the front foot once again here, and Nusa trying to show England's defenders a clean pair of heels. Antonio Nusa challenged by Saka. Up there from Berg, collected by 𝗏𝗏. Berger having to leave it for others, not least Odegaard. Auschwitz. Now the lively figure of Oscar Bob. Space for Sander Berger. And for Nusa. England penned in here. Nusa brings the save.
They've been a real threat, haven't they? Oscar Bob down the right-hand side, Nusa down the left-hand side. A lot of energy, a lot of pace, hence probably why there's going to be a substitution. Jed Spence, fresh legs. I think O'Reilly's played very well. I think he's defended very well. And just lacking a little bit of freshness now.
Well, Norway saw off Brazil in the round of 16, and England have found it tough here against a strong Norwegian side. Minutes remaining plus added time. Norway have scored in 3 of their 5 games in the last 5 minutes so far here at this World Cup. So they come on strong late, it would seem. Here comes that England change as David Beckham watches on. Jed Spence is going to come on to replace Nico O'Reilly.
Freshness down the left-hand side, pace. There's also some defending to do. Oscar Bob has been, like we mentioned, in the middle of a lot of attacks for Norway down that right-hand side.
Kane's had nothing to work with, has he, in this second half? England have sporadically threatened, but not really carried a great offensive threat since half-time.
Well, I feel that England's substitutions certainly haven't had the effect in the game like Norway's have. And that, for me, at the moment, has been the biggest difference. Norway have not been afraid to then take the game to England, the momentum swing, controlled large parts of this second half. It's up to England to try and do something with these fresh legs or fresher legs on the pitch.
Stones looking to switch the play and find Ňeğăbirì as a far side. Here's Anderson. First touch for Spence off the bench. Now James. Stones has scored at the World Cup before. Saka. Can he find a way past 𝗟ᴏ. Oh, he can. Super play from Saka. Was a chance there almost at the feet of at the far post. Kane was there too, and Norway survived what could have been a really nasty moment.
Oh, one of the rare times you see Saka on the ball, taking the game to the defender, trying to take him on, beats him really well down the right-hand side, gets to the touchline, ball across is really good. Oh, just do not react.
Ponsa did pretty well there as well, and suddenly England have got a corner with 3 minutes to go of the 90.
Tries really good. To get the ball across the face, such a dangerous area. Kane is very late to react.
Got to credit Fredrik Orsnes there, the substitute, who did superbly well. Kane's only touched the ball apparently once in Norway's penalty area in the whole match so far. Over it comes from Eza. Pushed by Kane. Referee was right there, looking straight at it.
A bit of frustration from Harry Kane.
Luis Suarez, of course, who plays his football for Inter Miami. This is a local match for him these days. We're going to have another change here for England. Morgan Rogers of Aston Villa is going to come on to replace his clubmate, Ezri Konsa. So England are going for it here. Reorganisation on the hoof from Thomas Tuchel, which is being relayed to the players out on the pitch. But if England go out, they're not going to go out wandering. And Reece James will, of course, just slot in on the right-hand side of the back line.
Yeah, just a bit of a reshuffle there. Well, Rogers then replacing Reece James in the midfield area. Standard swap there, and Reece James obviously is very versatile, accustomed to playing that right full-back position.
Marcus Pedersen has come on for Norway to replace David 𝗟ᴏ as well. Pedersen of Torino, who scored in the 3-2 win against Senegal on the second match day. He is a right back who's slotted in on the left-hand side at the moment. Haaland's header. Box touch away to the far side. Connected by Odegaard. We're getting him on the ball as much as possible. He's a real creative force in this Norwegian side. And again has the ball now. Oscar Ball. Good running by Arshnus, getting there ahead of Eza. Beaten away by Jordan Pickford. Jed Spence into Kane. Picking out Bellingham. It's a long old chase for Spence. He's got plenty of speed up against Aya, but Aya had the head start.
Yeah, did well. A lot to ask from Jed Spence.
Oh, Spence there! Superb play from him. Almost paid off in the most extraordinary fashion against Ørjan Nyland.
Yeah, it's great work from Jed Spence. He just does not give up. He gets so close. Yeah, man, very fortunate.
He's animated Thomas Tuchel on the touchline. Big few minutes here at the World Cup for these two sets of players. One moment of inspirational quality or one mistake here could change everything. Spence under pressure. 𝐃𝐃 sent on its way by Anderson towards Eza. In added time here. We've still got roughly 6 minutes or so to go. Norway with more attempts on goal and far more on target as well. Just the one from England, from Jude Bellingham, right at the end of the first half. Of 6 matches so far, have gone to extra time in the knockout stages of the World Cup. Are we about to get a 7th, or is there to be a late twist as it's whipped into the box? Kane can't collect it. Norway are able to move the ball clear of danger, and Odegaard is having a very productive time the longer this match wears on.
Yeah, Hurricane's a bit slow to react there. He felt like he could have got a bit better with trying to control that ball. Breaks down in Norway once again.
They're leaning on him a lot, aren't they, Norway? Odegaard.
Yeah, he's been a big player for them. So important for him. Always, you see him, gives and goes, always makes himself available.
Rodgers trusting to try and win the ball, and quite correctly there, the assistant on the near side acknowledging there was no foul on the defender.
Yeah, Ēģeļ just rolling the ball way too long, hoping for a free kick. So that looks like he's got a plan. Referee being absolutely spot on.
Well, we have got one of the most experienced referees in the business today, as you would expect, in 𝗟ᴛ And the injury just breaks up the play for a moment or two here. England's players rehydrating. Half-time starting to loom large for England. It will be the 11th time overall in the World Cup finals. It would only be the 2nd time for Norway. The other occasion, their very first game, back in 1938, where they were beaten by Italy. It took a while before the physios came on to provide some treatment. And this 7 minutes of added time will extend somewhat further than that.
Well, it's a big decision, isn't it? You get treatment on the pitch, obviously you have to go off for a certain amount of time before he can come back on again. Latter stages of the game, a big decision. Clearly, he is struggling. Some challenge again. Rodgers there, both have got each other. We're wrapped up. Rodgers does just enough.
So Hagen's going to be off the field here. As England take the throw in. It's with John Stones. In the 5th minute of added time. Saka showing one really good delivery from him since he came off the bench. Spence. There's her up against Arshness. Well, he can really be a difference maker on his day, 𝗄𝗄𝗃. Rogers leaving it for Gay. Here's Stones. Reece James near side, available. Closed down by Pedersen. In from Stones. A little flicked header off the forehead of Bellingham.
Very, very difficult chance that for Bellingham. Ball's a difficult one. Reaching for it. Long, long way away.
Extra time wouldn't be easy in these sort of conditions for either team. Very humid here in Miami. Minute of added time. Good header from John Stones. Arshness with the head start on Eza. Referee gives the free kick.
A little bit of a too strong a challenge there from Eza. These are the moments you do not want to lose the game. One of the scores now, most likely going to see it through. There's very, very tough conditions here.
No surprise, really. I think we shouldn't be surprised that these two teams are going toe-to-toe right to the end.
No, I think there's sort of an element of sort of measured approach as well. Neither side want to throw it away this late, but they're certainly looking to try and push each other. Certainly England look like the one that are more on the front foot now in these latter stages of this game.
Here's James up against the fleet-footed figure of Antonio Musa. Anderson. Still time for a very late chance or two. Saka didn't exactly have much room there.
Doesn't look like he really wanted the ball, did he? Didn't look like he was going behind it. Anderson needed him to make a run in behind. That's what he's signalling for.
Bellingham trying to steal in behind Hegem, who then looked as if he tried to grab at Bellingham. Certainly looked as if he tried to challenge him here, Mark.
Yeah, I think the referee's got a decision moment. He's not sure, is he? He was hesitant a couple of times there, the referee, whether he was going to blow his whistle or not. There's definitely contact. The question is how much. Hegem there just gets caught out. It's not necessarily the hands, the follow-through.
It's the right foot, isn't it, there? He just catches the Achilles of Bellingham.
This is an interesting decision for the referee, VAR, to look at.
It's not something that is being looked at in a way that means the referee will need to come across and look at it. Play will carry on. Bellingham's back on his feet and back in the match. Here of additional time at the end of the game. This was quite a lengthy stoppage during added time. Spence able to reach it on the stretch. And this one is going to go the distance. On a hot and humid day in South Florida, these two sets of players are going to have to dig deep now for an additional 30 minutes.
Babak tambahan maksud kami.
Build on the momentum of their late first half equaliser from Jude Bellingham. Andreas 𝗟ᴏ𝗏 having put Norway ahead. Norway looked the more likely, couldn't find a goal, had one disallowed. And humid minutes, Norway won, England won. South Florida. Extra time to follow. These two sets of players are going to have to dig deep now for an additional 30 minutes. England didn't really get going in the second half to build on the momentum of their late first half equaliser from Jude Bellingham. Andreas Schjelderup having put Norway ahead. Norway looked the more likely, couldn't find a goal, had one disallowed. After 90 minutes, Norway won, England won. Extra time to follow.
Ya pemirsa, 90 menit belum cukup untuk memisahkan dua negara Eropa ini di mana tidak ada gol tambahan yang tercipta di babak kedua meski ada satu gol yang dianulir tadi tentunya dari Erling Haaland, namun dengan hasil tersebut skor sementara masih imbang 1-1. Kedua tim masih sama-sama kuat bahkan di babak yang kedua, dan bisa dibilang sebenarnya Norway sedikit lebih unggul daripada Inggris secara dominasi, Bung Erwin.
Ya, ada beberapa pergantian yang dilakukan oleh Norwegia, terutama di sektor sayap ya. Ada Antonio Nusa dan Oscar Bob, dan ini yang memperlihatkan pemain-pemain Norway kelihatan lebih menyerang ya, lebih agresif, terutama dari sektor sayap. Sementara dari Inggris sudah ada 5 pergantian yang dilakukan, cuma memang hanya 𝗂𝗏𝗏 di sektor kanan yang kelihatan kontribusinya tidak kalah dari pemain yang diganti. Sementara di kanan ada Eze yang menggantikan Anthony Gordon. Justru serangan dari Inggris di babak kedua setelah Eze masuk ini kelihatan agak menurun ya dibandingkan dengan Gordon masih ada.
Oke, melihat jalannya pertandingan di babak yang kedua, bagaimana Anda memprediksi babak tambahan ini, Bung Feve?
Ya, ini menarik ya, kita lihat memang ada perubahan bagi masing-masing tim. Sementara bagi Inggris sendiri dari babak kedua baru dimulai tadi sebelum kick off sudah langsung ada 2 pergantian ya. Di mana di Kelurahan diganti, dimasukkan Eze, bahkan juga Madueke juga diganti, dimasukkan juga Saka. Akhirnya ini mendorong sedikit Eze ke sektor kiri mengganti peran Gordon ketika Gordon tarik keluar. Tidak terlalu berkembang begitu baik. Untuk melihat di babak pertama perpanjangan nanti, saya pikir ini menjadi satu momentum di mana kedua tim mungkin juga akan sedikit lagi berhati-hati mencari kelengahan dan juga mencari momentum untuk bisa memberikan tekanan.
Iya, kita bisa melihat bagaimana para kedua tim terlihat sangat lelah ini ya. Setelah melangsungkan pertandingan selama lebih dari 90 menit dan tentunya masuk ke extra time, menurut Anda siapa yang akan lebih diuntungkan dari Inggris dan juga Norwegia, Bung?
Posisinya sama sih kalau sudah seperti sekarang ya, sama-sama lelah, sama-sama tekanan tinggi, tapi memang Norwegia sepertinya masih punya 1 jatah pergantian pemain yang belum dilakukan, dan kita bisa lihat segala cara sudah diupayakan juga oleh Thomas Tuchel ya, memasukkan 5 orang pemain pengganti, tapi memang belum masuk ke skema untuk bisa unggul.
Oke, pemirsa, sambil kita melihat ini bagaimana para pemain sedang berada di sisi lapangan. Sebentar lagi tentunya pertandingan babak tambahan 15 menit dikali 2 akan segera dimulai, dan tentunya mungkin dari Inggris sektor apa yang perlu dimatangkan kembali, Bung?
Ya, saya pikir kelemahan ya dari sektor sayap kiri di mana Eze tidak begitu maksimal penampilannya seperti pada saat Anthony Gordon yang bermain di sana. Sebenarnya itu juga tadi juga saya dengan Bung Raiwin agak sedikit berdiskusi kenapa nggak Rashford yang dimainkan. Karena menurut saya memang Rashford lebih mempunyai potensi ya untuk merepotkan daerah pertahanan, dan itulah saya pikir salah satu keputusan dari pelatih sendiri kenapa memilih Eze untuk dimainkan di sektor itu.
Iya, dan juga kita sambil melihat ya bagaimana permainan yang akan segera dihadirkan akan dimulai apakah dari Norwegia atau dari Inggris. Pemirsa, baiklah, sepertinya kick off dari babak tambahan akan segera dimulai dan ada sedikit pertukaran pemain ya dari Norwegia, Bung Erwin.
Ya, Hegem tadi yang kelihatan menderita cedera di akhir babak pertama digantikan oleh Ostigard, pemain yang sempat mencetak gol menghadapi Irak ketika Norwegia menang 4-1, pemain belakang tapi mencetak gol melalui sundulan dia.
Iya, baiklah pemirsa, kick off di babak tambahan akan segera dimulai. Kita akan melihat siapa yang akan bertahan dan juga siapa yang akan mengakhiri perjalanan mereka di pagi hari ini. Semuanya akan kita temukan sesaat lagi. Inilah pertandingan antara Norwegia berhadapan dengan Inggris. Dari studio kami ucapkan selamat menyaksikan.
City played just over 50 matches in the Championship in England. As I mentioned before, in Italy with Germany. England will get us underway at the start of extra time. Could literally be last team standing on a humid night like this. Jude Bellingham ready to get the match underway. 1-1 in this World Cup quarter-final after 90 minutes. 30 more lie ahead. 𝗃𝐃𝐃𝐃, the referee, waits for the signal, which is now given. And Jude Bellingham takes the kick, but Erling Haaland had ventured 9.
Does a remarkable job. Erling Haaland is looking not so interested for large parts of the game, looking tired, looking fatigued, but we know if blink of an eye, we can punish any team.
Well, like everyone, he's a little bit tired out there. He's not moving terribly freely, actually, at the moment. He was receiving a bit of treatment or a bit of a massage during the break between the end of the game and extra time, but it'll take a lot for him to come off the pitch, I'm sure. Jed Spencer for England into Eze. Holding off Oscar Ball. And a physical challenge of Oscar Ball. It's good play by Eze, superbly done. Collected by Bukayo Saka. England survived some anxious moments in the second half. Can they take advantage of that now? Ball bouncing off Morgan Rogers up towards Haaland. Reece James intercepts. Saka being faced by Pedersen. Pedersen standing his ground rather well, albeit at the expense of the corner.
Yeah, he defended well. Put his body in the way. Saka ever so close to getting around him. All in dangerous position looking across. Pedersen does really well.
England supporters inside the stadium, thousands of them doing their best to lift their team, but they haven't had too much to cheer about for quite a long time in this match. Arsenal's trying to get to grips with Kane. Then it comes from Saka. Header away. There's a solid one. Saka again. It's Kane beyond the far post, and it's a save from Nyland. Danger still not fully away and cleared by the Norwegian defence. Reece James. Saka getting a taste for it now. It's a chase for Mark Gay. Eze is available for the pass. Anderson nearby too. Into Morgan Rogers. Rogers lets slide. It's 2-1 England. Bellingham once again on the follow-up. Morgan Rogers shot spilled by Nyland. 2 goals in Mexico at the Azteca and 2 in Miami for Jude Bellingham. 2-1 England.
Huge moment from Jude Bellingham. He's the quickest one to react. England persistent pressure. Ball after ball in the box. In the end, Morgan Rogers decides to take a touch and have a go himself on the goalkeeper. Nyland just never looked comfortable. And Bellingham really quick to react. And it's a poacher's goal. And England have their necks in front.
Big questions being asked of Norway now, who've got to pick themselves up off the canvas in this game. Here's the goal once more.
Yeah, it's just persistent play. Rogers then in the end decides to have a strike. England, I'm not sure if he's unsighted initially, just never deals with it. Bellingham really quick to pounce. There's a simple tap in.
England took 154 seconds to score at the start of extra time. Ødegaard looks to lead from the front and drag his team back into the game. Here's Patrick Berg. They've played well today, Norway.
They've done very, very well. Tactically, I think up to this point, they've got spot on. Yes, we can't make a mistake. Goalkeeper's made a mistake. Can't hold on
to deal with it, get it away from the danger area. They find themselves too unbehind. However, they're not going to be knocked out of their stride. They're going to continue to play the same way. Odegaard's going to be at the heart of it. They've got big players. They're going to be knocking the ball all in the box. Like the surprise of Haaland. All of a sudden, we'll find that burst of energy from somewhere.
England haven't been at their best, but now they do have a precious but slender advantage. Plenty of time for Norway, though, here. Martin Odegaard. Orsnes wants it near side, but Norway's captain looks the other way. Picking out Berger, who sends it away to Nusaf. Well, there was a real sort of backs to the wall, digging in, desperate defending from England at the Azteca last week. Are Norway going to ask similar questions here? England, of course, were down to 10 on that occasion. Oscar Bob. Quick and skillful. Spence is pretty fast too. Collected by Rogers. To Anderson. Gay. Now Eza. Jed Spence. Just wrong footing there, Bellingham. Spence gets a foot in. Kane wins it back. Renewed vim and vigour about England now.
Yeah, good pressure. Really good pressure from England. Not sitting back, wanting to put pressure on the ball. Worked very, very hard. It's a bit of a miscommunication there, Jed Spence and Jude Bellingham. Otherwise, England could have been away down this left-hand side once again.
England fans desperately trying to roar their team over the line. Great sporting cathedral here in Miami, echoing to the cheers and encouragement of the England faithful. Norway's fans a little quiet for now, digesting the news of that goal, but still time for their team to come again. Looks tired. They just need one magical moment from him. Here comes Aya. Now Orsnes. Sander Berger away from Jude Bellingham. Tidied up well there by Østegård. Slight miscue there, encouraging Bellingham to apply the pressure.
Yeah, some tight legs out there. Now Norway for the first time have to try and chase this game. It's all on them now to try and make something happen for England. Just trying to win the ball, trying to put pressure on, maybe them on the counter-attack, try and get that third goal, but they're not really going to push too many players forward just yet.
Berger. Odegaard trying to slide it through, looking for the run of Fredrik Orsnes. There's a fine Bellingham. The chase is on here, and Rogers is prepared to make it. Aya swiftly across. England will have a throw.
Yeah, it's good run from Morgan Rogers. I think Jude Bellingham does really well with his pass down the left-hand side. That's what England need to do more of. For Norway, it's about trying to be very, very careful, very delicate with their possession. Not give away the ball so easily because they are going to be punished. As the game goes on, they're going to be having to take more risks, and that's where the game might even open up even more for England.
Here's Anderson, and now with Mark Gay. Spence. He's going to test the legs of Oscar Bob, going the other way here now, Jed Spence. This is excellent play from the England fullback, who's done really well, and England have got caught a penalty. Spence drew the foul after an excellent run. 𝗟𝗏 had no doubt in his mind.
Oh, it's a superb
superb run from Jed Spence on his left-hand side. He looked up initially, wants to look the ball into the box, doesn't see an England player in the right position, so he just decides to go himself. And all the way, once he gets down the byline and cuts back inside, you just felt he had the upper hand on Oscar Bob, but he just needed one touch, and the legs come together. You see it again, Jed Spence just uses his strength, his pace, tricking on the ball. Don't see that being changed. There's a tangle in the legs. Oscar Bob just cannot get on the right side.
Key moment here, obviously, but at 3-1, it's an awfully long way back for Norway if the ball ends up in the back of the net. The penalty decision is still being checked by Jérôme Brissard and the team.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's a big moment in the game for Norway, of course, goes without saying. For England, that extra bit of breathing space if they're able to convert the penalty. And for Norway, this is a moment where they're trying to hang on.
Ref's going to have a look. That might not be great news for England. So, Ňomo comes across. Are you surprised by that?
I am a little bit surprised. I think there's just enough of a contact to warrant the referee giving the decision. I don't think it's a clear and obvious mistake. I think it's a coming together of legs. Bob's just on the wrong side each time. Jed Spence gets across the face. We'll see what the referee's decision is. Obviously, there's enough doubt in that room to suggest the referee to go over and check it.
Ultimately, of course, it's the referee's call here.
After review, the attacker put his leg in front of the defender without any foul. So final decisions, no foul.
Reprieve for Norway, no foul. Jed Spence, adjudged to have put his leg to his right in front of the defender, causing the contact in the view of the officials. Stays at 2-1. Norway are still right in it at 2-1.
Yeah, it's a big decision, big moment of the game.
Here it is again.
It's a huge lifeline for Norway.
Well, Norway have dodged one there, haven't they?
I believe they have, yeah. I think they'll find themselves very, very fortunate with that decision.
Still finely balanced here. Advantage for England. It's going to be England's ball. It was excellent play by Jed Spence to roam down the left-hand side and get all the way into the penalty area and cause such a problem for Norway's defence. Collected by Morgan Rogers. Berger gets a foot in there. Nusa away to the far side. Marcus Pedersen. Bit of room in midfield for Patrick Berg and for Sander Berger. Will Norway be buoyed by that decision, just as they thought they were up against it, facing a penalty and the possibility of a 3-1 deficit here in extra time? Ayers ball forward. England's bench claiming that there was a handball. Ødegaard. Tracked by Morgan Rogers. Borshness. Now ball. Good ball. Antonio Nusa. Massive block there by Mark Gay.
Yeah, brilliant. Really good defending. Does so well. It's claims of a handball, but I think he does really well. I think he gets his hands down by his side.
Little hint of crab kicking in there. That was a big old stretch for Gay to block that one.
Yeah, it was. It was really good defending.
Gets his hands out of the way. No suggestion of a handball there, as you say.
There's a lot of space in the edge of the box for Norway. England set up very, very deep in this corner.
Latter stages of the first period of extra time. Patrick Berg to take for Norway. Everyone back here for England, queuing up to get it away. John Stones with his head on the ball. Norway will have to build again. Bergen. Oshnas. Lusa. Odegaard. Norway looking to finish this first period of extra time strongly and come roaring back. Oshnas. Comfortable for Jordan Pickford. We're going to have 3 additional minutes at the end of extra time here. This is Eze. Norway's ball. Eze felt that he was fouled. He's not the only one. Thomas Tuchel there.
Yeah, I think it was a decent decision. The referee, Eze does really well initially just to keep control of that ball. It's an awkward one from Jordan Pickford. In the end, actually just can't keep it in his grasp.
Just going into that minimum of 3 additional minutes here. First period of extra time. Harshness. Spence with the block. A tussle between the pair of them. Terrific play by Harshness. Anderson's there covering. He's got Mark Gay on the near side. Kane. Spence. Measured play from England. Very composed.
Well, if they can keep hold of the ball, make Norway run for it, spread the game out a little bit more. So it's just going to play in their favour in these conditions in particular.
It's excellent from Morgan Rogers there. And Spence is benching forward once more. There's not quite enough on that one to pick out Bellingham. The header cleared by Ayer, away off the boot of Berg, only as far as Anderson. Space for Saka. Anderson. Harshness under pressure. Eze with support on the near side. Flag up, offside.
It's that game management now for England. Can they keep hold of it? Can they keep this shape? Frustrate Norway. For Norway, it's about trying to create that chance. Certainly for their main man. Can he get on the end of something? Can he get in a position where he gets a good shot off on goal?
That's a good ball from Jude Bellingham into Bukayo Saka. Going to put it onto that left foot, and the shot over the top there from Jude Bellingham. Nimble-footed from the referee to keep out of the way there.
Definitely some tired legs out there. We've still got at least 15 minutes to go.
Well, I think the trip to the Azteca was pretty draining for England, wasn't it, in their last game as well? Very different circumstances and conditions that night. Norway played in the heat in New Jersey, getting the better of Brazil in the round of 16. That's excellent from Bukayo Saka. James is looking for a Eze, one by Oshnas, falling at the feet of Kane. That's not good news for Norway, potentially. And the referee blows for half-time in extra time. England are 15 minutes away from the semi-finals of the World Cup. Thanks to a second goal of the match from that man there, their number 10, Jude Bellingham. At the break in extra time in Miami, it's Norway 1, England 2. Bellingham's 2 goals today, take him up to 6 for the tournament, joining Harry Kane on that number. That's never happened before in the history of the World Cup. 2 players from the same team scoring that number of goals, and nobody in an England shirt has ever scored more than 6 goals at a single World Cup. There's the chart at the top of the table. 𝗟𝐿 he's got some assists, unlike Lionel Messi. And here's the goal which currently separates the 2 sides.
It's a quick one. He's the one that quickly reacts out of anyone, and he's on it like a flash. He is celebrating. Big moment. What could turn out to be the winner for England, and it's certainly in the box seat at the moment. But a lot of football we played, and Norway are not going to give up without a fight.
Starlassol back in there, no doubt, reminding his players down in their huddle in front of the dugout that there is plenty of football to be played, and we might be about to see Jürgen Strand Larsen before long. He looks stripped and ready to go.
It'll be interesting to see who he replaces.
Haaland is going to come off. Now, he looked, and we noted, he looked as if he was struggling in the first period of extra time.
Yep, you beat me to it. Felt like that would be the case. He did look very laboured in that first half of extra time. Looked like he was really struggling.
So we're about to see Jürgen Strand Larsen, I think. These days of Crystal Palace of the Premier League, having moved from Wolverhampton Wanderers this year. But no confirmation of that move as of yet. And there is His Royal Highness Prince Haakon, Crown Prince of Norway. It's a big one for Norway. Will that sap their morale with Jürgen Strand Larsen, as good a player as he is, clearly, coming on for the talismanic number 9, Erling Haaland.
Well, it's the fresh legs, isn't it? I mean, you see Haaland there was very ineffective in that first half of extra time. Could hardly move, so having someone with legs up front gives them something to aim for, a target man, and someone to get on the end of things.
But at 2-1, Norway is still right in the game.
They are, yep. I think they got very, very fortunate in that first half of extra time. But I think they're still in it. They've got to go for it in this second half of extra time. Nothing to lose now.
While those Norwegian players gee each other up for the final 15 minutes of the game, Harry Kane has been in conversation with the referee, ᴠʟᴏ, just looking for a little bit more clarity about that penalty decision. Kane was getting ready to tee it up, I think.
Yeah, I think England were very unlucky for that decision. I can see why. I understand what the referee said in his explanation, and I think it's just a little bit unfortunate for them not to get that penalty, and certainly for Norway, that is a lifeline.
They've got 15 minutes to try to save their World Cup ambitions. England, as it stands, would be heading to Atlanta and the semi-final. Argentina or Switzerland will provide the opposition for today's winners here in Miami. And in case you're wondering, yes, it's still pretty humid here, just as it was at the start of the match. 7:30 in the evening local time. The boot of Sander Berge. It's going to be a desperate struggle this last 15 minutes. Head coach on the touchline. Into Oscar Bob, and now it's Nusa looking to give them a springboard right at the start of the second period of extra time. It was cleared away by John Stones. Down goes Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, it looks like John Stones is also struggling with cramps as he clears that ball. He's in a perfect position. Jude Bellingham, see there, just gets a little bit late.
Not quite the evening that he was hoping for so far. Ireland can only watch now and hope that his team can claw their way back here. Smile from his dad. of attritional contest. James with the throw, looking for Bukayo Saka. Free kick for Norway.
Saka just clips Ødegaard as he's going through. Once again, of course, makes it very, very obvious for the referee. Along with the ball is up in this end for England. Obviously, they'll be happier. Norway need to get the ball back up into England's half. Try and put some pressure on that England goal.
Shove in the back there a little on Anderson potentially. Referee says not enough. Referee, get up and get on with the game. Harshness keeps it clear of Saka. Here's Ødegaard. Most of the players down there running on fumes by now. Running on fumes and desire.
Yeah, it's a game that was always going to be tough because of the conditions, and obviously going to extra time makes it that little bit more difficult for them. It's who's managed the game better, play individually. Can someone step up from Norway, get that vital equaliser, or can England find someone who can win the game for them?
With Sander Berge. It was a good run made by Pedersen into the penalty area there. This is Oscar Ball. Patrick Berg opens up for the shoulder. Fizzing over the top of the crossbar.
Just couldn't control it. Game just opened up for him. Massive space opened up. Saw it. Jet Spence is the one that gets across at the end. His challenge is probably just enough to force Berg to try and get a bit more on it.
Yeah, his challenge might have saved the day there for England. Anxious moments for the English fans in the crowd. Anderson goes beyond Bellingham. Norway trying to come on strong here. England with Harry Kane away from Nusa. He's got Saka on the near side. Eza is well forward as well, up to the edge of the box. Saka being closed down by Aya. Brilliant play from Bukayo Saka. All that was missing there was the finishing flourish.
Yeah, he saw it, didn't he? He saw the goal just open up.
Oh, Jet Spence has done really well to win it back. It's still with Spence, and still, good save by Neelan. Here comes Saka, double stop by Oya Neelan to keep Norway in it at 2-1.
It's a big double save from the goalkeeper. Really quick to react after he spills the initial shot from Jet Spence. And England trying to go from that third goal and give themselves extra breathing space.
Reece James. I just get the feeling that maybe a goal there from either of those two shots, and it might have been curtains for Norway. Saka. Referee's going to bring the game back. We're going to have a late change here. Dan Burn is going to come on for England. And Jude Bellingham, I think, has given everything that he's got.
It's a chance for Jet Spence. It's a good shot from the edge of the box. And Neelan does well. Get down behind it. His parry just goes straight to Saka. I think his recovery, his second save, his top pass just makes himself so big. It does come from his initial mistake.
Jude Bellingham is coming off. Rapturous applause around the stadium for him. Another excellent performance on the biggest stage of all. And here is Bellingham scoring his second of the match and the goal which separates the two sides. He's in good company as well, Jude Bellingham. He's the first player to score back-to-back braces in knockout games at the World Cup since Diego Maradona back in 1986.
That's impressive. Really the great man himself. Jude Bellingham has been excellent for England in this tournament, and today is no exception.
So Dan Bernard came on in Mexico last week and on to add some defensive steel and presence to England's back line for what remains. Forward by Ødegaard, and Byrne is there. header by Reece James, on by Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, change of formation for England, back three with Stones, Gay in the middle, Dan Burn on the left side, effectively in defence, five at the back.
That was excellent from Reece James, never less than solid and sturdy, but Bellingham today, 2 goals to add to the 2 that he got last week in Mexico, 6 for the tournament. England inching towards the semi-finals, but far from there. Still time for Norway to come again. They had the better of much of the second half of the regulation 90. We're in the 113th minute of this game. Oscar Bob. Martin Ødegaard. The Norwegian nation looks to their captain and number 10 to provide the inspiration here. Musa into Berger. Here's Ødegaard. England deep, dug in. Norway looking to try and prize them open. Musa maybe with a little hint of an opportunity here. Deflection coming off Reece James, and it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, there's one-on-one battles for England in the latter stage of the game. We've won most of them defensively. This is a real handful. Comes in. Norway's wanting to come on that inside under his right foot, trying to curl under that far post area. Reece James is aware of the danger. Sticks out a big left foot. Just wonder, is England going to be sitting more camped in their own half, with going to 3 at the back, being more defensive, trying to hang on?
The header away, and it's over the top of the bar, off the boot of Bob.
That fell through really quickly, didn't he? He had a whole host of England players making the charge towards him. Just gets too far underneath, but you can see there, England a little bit fortunate not to have considered the corner there.
Like the foul on Kane, who was almost relieved of his shirt by Christopher Ajer. Sander Berger has it. A little over 5 minutes remaining, plus any additional time. Berger. Musa wants it near side. Bosch is available as well.